promoted the Mandy Lane film.
No, I didn't.
You weren't there? Because there was like 8 of you there. There was like, I was sure that you were there. Okay, I'm
No,
my mind.
I didn't go to Toronto. I was filming my show.
Because there was so many other people. Okay, we good?
Yeah.
Okay. Congratulations. You did a really good job in this. And I was just wondering, I mean, this is a pretty heavy-duty script when when you look at it. What was it that kind of resonated with you when you read it, that you wanted to do it?
You know, it's so important. Hold on one second.
No problem.
Courtney, yeah? I can't do this if people are coming in and out of the door. It's really distracting. Okay. Extremely. Thank you. Do
you want to start it? We'll start again?
Yes, that would be great.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I keep not looking at you. I look at them, so it's really
Let's start again. Okay.
Thank you.
You did a really good job in this film, and I wanted to ask you.
They have had the. Okay, they've had the tagline.
Hello, everybody. This is Sarah, and this is WINO Forever, the Deeppening podcast. We are on episode 14. I am joined by Arm Jalsenko. How are you, sir?
Good. I want to compliment you on the last Christmas episode. You really, I made the slideshow, but you put it all together, and I think you told me, how many hours did it take you to string it? Well, you had to match it up with the Christmas episode. And again, that is just, we jumped ahead to the 21 Jump Street series we're going to do. We're obviously going to cover every single episode, but this was just, we tried to match it up for Christmas. It was the copyright Nazis of, I don't know, is it Film Rise or Advent or?
Mm-hmm. It's Advent that represents Film Rise amongst 500 other
using that
companies.
Okay. And literally, we stopped it like every 20 seconds. Who would use that as their way to watch that episode? You couldn't have been more fastidious the way we stopped it and commented on it. It still got a copyright, so we had to just put
I
it
don't
on
know. It won't be the last. So
no, well, I guess you live and you learn, and that's just a shakedown cruise of what to do. I guess for future Jump Street episodes. I hate to not be able to play it, but
we will. And
it's just it gets worse and worse with
we'll figure it out.
Copyright Nazis.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We are getting into a stretch of episodes, if we follow our plan here, where we dive into the relationship and the former marriage of one Johnny Depp and one former Mrs. Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. Sorry, the succubus.
I thought you said Lori Allison.
Yes, I was going for the first wife.
Well,
many people
mogul.
Many people think
Lori Allison Depp, by the way, she still uses his last name, which is fascinating to me.
So would
They were married for 5 minutes in 1980, 84, 85, and she still uses his last name. Mm-hmm. I love it.
As would I, and I would never remarry just for the slight chance there's alimony. I would never remarry. I would up that alimony too once I saw his net worth going up.
She obviously thinks he is omnipotent if she still holds on to that name. You can't. I think there's a fame thing involved, or she loves to be attached to him. But if he were a piece of shit, she would not be using that last name.
Mm-hmm. Well, she has a business too that she incorporates his name into.
I know. I saw her on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it.
Have forgotten the business name. So
it's just like a makeup. It's like a makeup sales kind of thing, or I don't know if she does freelance makeup work or special effects / But she's got to be she's post 60 now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a normal aged woman for him.
Age appropriate. I know.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think 60 is age appropriate for him, but it is.
I know. Yeah.
Jennifer Grey's 60 too.
Mm-hmm. So, are you ready to dive into this relationship?
Well, we're gonna read some news first.
Sure. Go ahead.
Wow, that's passion, enthusiasm dripping
I'm
through.
I'm fresh off work and the caffeine pill has not kicked in yet. It will at some point.
I got it. I get you. I get it. So this just hit. Is this yesterday? I think you saw it too. And you typically don't Google them like I do, but so this is from the New York Post, and a lot of sources have picked up on this. This is from the New York Post. Johnny Depp's first role since Scandal is Fit for a King by Ben Cost. Hopefully, Depp's career will end with more dignity in his characters. Johnny Depp, 58, has been tapped to play French King Louis the 15th, and so we went up. Listen, can we stop with the Roman numerals? I don't care if it's the Super Bowl or these effing European royalty. Stop with the goddamn Roman numerals. Just put the number. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of. At what point, especially the Super Bowl, it's just like 6 Roman numerals in a row, and we're at 3 digits, and you're going, what is it? A 5 minus? You're doing all like super Roman calculus to try to figure out. Stop with the Roman numerals. Just use numbers. Stop. So it's the 15th in a new film by French director Ma Wien. It's always someone so pretentious. A French director, Ma Wen, Maiwenn. If you know how to pronounce it, I've never heard this name before, but leave it to the French to bail Depp out of any kind of unemployed streak, marking the fraught actor's first role since being canceled amid abuse allegations. The casting bombshell came to light via a recent article by the French website Satellifax. The Infinitum Nihil.
Thank you.
The period drama's title and plot have yet to be revealed. However, the flick will reportedly follow the life of controversial French monarch who was nicknamed the Beloved, as Depp is very beloved, and ruled for 59 years, oddly. Guess who turns 59 in June? The longest reign.
Can I interject? And you probably are about to read this, so I'm interrupting for no reason. This king apparently succeeded his great-grandfather, Louis XIV, at the age of 5, until he reached maturity on February 15th, 1723. Okay, that I don't care. Go ahead.
It's okay. I think does this tie into the Libertine and that storyline? And that he played very royalty in that again. The longest reign in France's existence since Louis the 14th. Again, with the Roman numerals, I sit there and I just pause, and my brain shuts down when I see Roman numerals now, especially when there's 3 of them in a row. Despite his benevolent reputation, the king's reign ended in disgrace and debauchery, not unlike that of his grandson and successor Louis the 16th, who was executed following the French Revolution. Meanwhile, director Ma Wen, oh my God, the thing just blanked on me. You talk about, my screen went white, not black. My screen went white. My screen was whitewashed. like I'm in the Indiana Clan. Like I'm the Winter Hill Gang. Okay. Nevertheless, so this is a rumor. I don't know what the hell happened here, but just run with it. I'm not interested. Don't want to see him play royalty, French. It's French pretentious period piece. I have no interest. I'm tired of that genre. This is my opinion. I know everyone's all giddy that he's getting a role. This is the best we can do. I don't care. I have no faith. I don't like the genre. And this is just me. I mean, how do you feel about royalty period pieces and pretentious French directors? I don't care. It's
Doesn't
not the
bother me.
direction.
Doesn't bother me.
You gonna see
I
it?
will probably attempt to see it But if it's anything like Waiting for the Barbarians, I will tap out after 20 minutes.
That's my fear. That's my fear. The
But I will
period
make an
piece
attempt.
tedium, the dialogue you can't engage, and the dead moments. This isn't like some, oh God, what are you, what are you, dullards and imbeciles and ignoramuses you can't handle? No, I've seen a zillion period pieces. I can handle them with the best of them. For him, I think it's a terrible move. I think it's a genre that I need not to see again. Like the way I said, I don't want to see another Tim Burton movie. I don't want to see another Gore Verbinski movie. I don't want to see another Pirates. By the way, I think the Pirates are set in the exact same. So you're seeing a lot of this this era, and I just don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm period pieced out with him. I want to see you play a normal guy in modern times. I don't want to see it.
He has to get those
I'm not
offers,
excited.
though. I don't know
Well,
that he's
of
getting
course
those
it's a
offers.
French. Of course it's a French director. The same culture that advocates Leroy is living with a 24-year-old.
I knew you were going to go there.
And Roman Polanski.
A lot of people getting a lot of feedback on that. A lot of people did not know that, myself included, until I was made aware of it in the Tracy Jacobs transcript in part 4. So go check out that video if you haven't already.
The Tracy Jacobs transcript is radioactive.
Yes, it's
It doesn't
very
stop.
good. Very good. And you did a good job in your role as the attorney, aka Mr. Feeney, and Benjamin Chew.
Benjamin Chew's coming up. We got to figure out some angle.
And we'll
Kump and Chew, are they? How different are they? Right? Can you play Mr. Feeney for both things because he just fits the? Or do I have to become Matt Murdock? Maybe I could play it as George Young.
All right.
With a Boston accent.
Do you think you can keep it going that long?
I don't know. I could try. Sometimes you surprise yourself. Sometimes it just flows out. And sometimes you're like, ugh, why did I commit to this? I can't. And there's certain words that just don't work. And you go, ugh, that didn't sound, you have to almost like rehearse it. I'll figure something out.
You'll do a fantastic job. You're an amazing mimic of voices.
You said, did you call me Fantastic Beast?
You are the pale Michael Winslow.
Michael Winslow.
My generation.
You're Kellen Winslow.
All right.
You're the female Kellen Winslow.
Okay. I'll take it.
So I found this. I was telling you about this before we get into the succubus. I found this, and this is an article from 2011 when she got cast in the Rum Diaries. And this is an eerie, as Depp would say, an eerie trumpet call of what is to come, and the succubus laying the seeds down and trying to portray herself as a kindred spirit for Depp, in pretending to have the same interests and to be this like old soul at whatever she is here, 24. So this is an interview with her from 2011 when she got cast in the Rum Diaries as Chenault. And I just want to read this because it is just, a lot of people don't go back and see how this all started, and we know the casting stories and stuff. Mm-hmm. So you could feel it in this. Let me read some of this. So this is from 2011, October 27, by Christina Radish. In the Rum Diary, adapted from the novel from Hunter S. Thompson, actress Amber Heard plays Chenault, the beautiful Connecticut-born fiance of a shady businessman named Sanderson, played by Aaron Eckhart. When the journalist Paul Kemp, Johnny Depp, travels to Puerto Rico in 1960 to write her for a local newspaper, he meets and soon becomes obsessed with the sultry temptress. Ugh. I think Amber wrote this herself and just submitted it. Leaving her torn between financial stability and love. We know which way the gold digger goes, don't we? At the film's press day, Amber Heard spoke to Collider for this exclusive interview about the torturous auditioning process they put her through for the role. Torturous interview process for the role. And why her, and get this next line, listen to this. Again, she's 24 at this point, and she is...
Can't wait.
Completely out of it. And why her interest in Hunter S. Thompson's work was piqued when she was in the 9th grade. Oh, now listen to this. I mean, honestly, this will make your skin crawl. And why her interest in Hunter S. Thompson's work was piqued when she was in the 9th grade. and what a dream it was to work with Johnny Depp, and how the stylized wardrobe really helped her get in the character. She also talked about being able to relate to the indignation that can come with the expectations of looking a certain way. So she's the burden of beauty. She's so hot. We're not taking that great brain seriously. I love. Don't you love that humble brag?
Mm-hmm.
The burden of beauty, and see, that's also her imitating Depp's plight, right in the beginning.
Of course.
I mean, that's what need I even say that? Her
Mm-hmm.
desire to make the sexy girl's role into something more, and how excited she is to promote her next film, Syrup. Check out. You know what a hit Syrup was, right? It just beat
Yeah.
Avengers. I think it beat the second Avengers in the global box office.
I think you can find it on X videos. She has
Does
a
she have a porn out? Does she have? Did she have
no,
a
well,
softcore
kind
porn?
of. She has, if you go to X videos, not that I ever do, please. Porn is for the devil. But anyway,
Go erase that history right now.
if you put in Amber Heard, and I did because I was curious, she has quite a few little clips that come up. So, that acting career that he was trying to steer her, toward a little bit of nobility in,
Right.
yeah, didn't quite work.
Check out what she had to say after the jump. Okay. Just a couple just interviews. Goes, what was the auditioning process like for you? So this is the auditioning for the Rum Diary. This is how she puts it in this print interview.
Okay.
It's a prestigious movie, and it's got a great talented cast. So they wanted to make sure they had the right person for the role of Chenault, but it was a torturous process. It was painful. I found out they were making this movie, and my heart fluttered. I remember thinking, oh, wouldn't that be amazing?
Oh,
But I didn't really consider it in a real way and a possibility. And then 6 months later, I was on the set, and it was a weird ride. I'll bet. I'll bet.
yeah.
Cowgirl. It's so funny too. The way the Rum Diaries even got made is Depp excavated the transcript from Hunter S. Thompson's basement. The book got made, and they turned it into a movie. And she's acting like she is this bibliophile on the book. She wouldn't even know it existed. She shouldn't and didn't know it existed. Oh my God! You just hear this scamber in all of this. Okay, then next question. How did you first become aware of the work of Hunter S. Thompson?
Mm,
Get ready. Get ready.
mm,
I Somebody was reading it when I was in the ninth grade. Somebody was
yeah.
reading it when I was in the ninth grade, and was bragging about reading about all the debauchery and drug use. My interest was piqued, and the rebel in me thought, oh,
Oh,
it would be really. By the way, she calls herself a rebel about 60 times in these interviews I went to look at in 2011. This isn't the only one. She constantly, to obviously mirror what his Depp's rebel. The word rebel is always
of
used for him,
course.
and
This
yep,
is part of her love bombing and her wooing of
very,
him because
yeah,
he always has this weird thing where he just loves that Texas Spitfire.
yes.
She's gonna play that up like crazy.
Checking
Sorry,
all
go
the
ahead.
boxes. No, it's okay. And I thought, oh, it would be really fun to get my hands on a piece of literature that isn't coming from the PTA.
Oh,
Yeah, did your PTA dictate your reading liter in the ninth grade? Isn't that for
no,
elementary school?
I
The
don't know.
PTA.
She has no idea what she's talking about.
I think she dropped out in the ninth grade. Or did she make that up too? She dropped out of high school just like he did?
Oh,
Just to
yeah,
mirror that
probably.
too? Yeah.
She every answer so far, we're only like 1.5 answers
I
in.
can't even get through it. I know.
It's all just like a paint by numbers word salad that she's throwing in. She's hitting all the bullet points. She knows because she knows at this stage he's so enamored with her. He's going to read every word that she
Exactly.
says.
Or a publicist will.
Oh, she makes me want to puke. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but is it amazing how we're the only ones going back to look at this
Yeah.
to connect the dots? This is like eerie. And
Hmm.
I've not seen. I knew. I don't know. We were doing a show, and I remember we got off, and like that night, I'm like, let me see if I can go back and look at some. Because I remember when the Scarlett Johansson, Keira Knightley audition thing, and I wanted to see just how she wormed her way into this thing. And these are the seeds. I mean, okay, so the rebel in me fell in love with it, and the artiste in me was confused by it and interested and turned over, and I was so turned on. Ever since his work has meant Hunter S. Thompson, ever since Hunter's work has meant so many different things to me at different times, and I still get new meaning out of it and appreciate it in a different way. His work, okay, it's like I'm going to read it like Depp, right? Because this is her saying it. I'm going to read it like
Okay,
Depp.
yeah.
Well, you know what? Ever since his work has meant different things to me at different times, and I still get a new meaning out of it, and I appreciate it in a different way. His work is very visceral, you know, and you
Ugh.
can take from it what you want in various moments of your life. Oh God, she wrote. That's her saying it.
Th-
That's her saying it.
this is how she would talk to him when they're one on one. And this is how she reeled him in. She said she knew exactly what to say. She had read a
Every
Cliff's note.
word is.
She went out to Barnes and Noble the day before she met him for this movie, stayed up all night reading a Cliff's Note
I'd give.
version.
I actually will give her credit that I think she scammed it much longer than a day before. I think I'd give her at least a month or two, where
Yeah.
she sat there and just tried to memorize the most literary pretentious interviews he ever gave and memorize um the vernacular, and I'll just be the female version of him.
Well, it took her a month just to get those first edition leather bounds in to replace her other books on the bookshelf because she knew he was coming over.
That was so. And then the bohemian look she tried to.
Ugh, the floppy hats and the boho tops and oh, she's just oh my god. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
What was it like to collaborate with Johnny Depp? Oh, he's a wonderful artist and such a talented person. I got along with him splendidly. He's charming and wonderful to work with. He's a dream. It was such a creative environment. I was working with real artists, and that's difficult to do and very rare in an industry that's pretty ironically. In playing such stylized character, was it a collaborative process in figuring out how she? I honestly think she wrote the questions.
Yeah,
I
that's
honestly think either Depp's publicist or the
oh,
publicist for
that's a
Bruce
good point.
Robinson and
Yeah,
wrote these questions for
be kind to my queen. Here are the questions you're going to ask her.
that is how it works with PR,
Mhm.
by the way. And playing such a stylized character, was it a collaborative process in figuring out how she would look and behave? Are you talking about more softballs than Rosie O'Donnell in high school, right? This is really hard hitting stuff.
Oh.
Heard. I think so. It was an unspoken then spoken collaboration. You get it? We all appreciated a certain aesthetic, and with that appreciation came a certain stylized presence. For me, now I'm just going to read it like straight here, flat. But when I'm reading this, anyone listening to this, I want you to picture. This is Amber Heard speaking. I want you to picture Depp saying this, because every word is something he would say
Mhm.
in an interview. I mean, it's just aesthetics. And with the appreciation came a certain stylized presence. Really, 24-year-old saying stylized presence. You've never even come close to doing a decent film, and you're saying stylized presence. For me, I wanted to play an archetype, what that leading lady was, with the nod to the 50s and 60s, all glamorized. Socialite, movie star, housewife in training, or whatever. She was this member of the elite class that comes from a rich dad and will go to a rich husband and is living this life. And her dad could also be a dog fighter. And then she has this horrible fall from grace and falls in love with the opposite of that, and then learns a different way to see life through Kemp. Did the wardrobe really help you in finding the character?
Oh god.
That's a classic Depp question in every interview he does.
Mhm.
His rap is, I put the clothes on so I can feel more like whoever it is.
Ugh.
Whether it's Donnie Brasco or Ed Wood, remember the Angora thing?
Yeah,
He would say
exactly.
that in every interview.
Mhm.
Heard. I was pretty much the only woman in the movie. See? This is where the trouble starts. As soon as she says that, you go like, woo, woo, The words will really help you in finding. I was pretty much the only woman in the movie, so it was really important to sell the time period. What makes the stylized nature of the '60s so beautiful and specific is it's really the best seen in a woman, not a man. Women's fashion is greater reflects that change, and that was part of creating the aesthetic that we did. The key word is aesthetic here. Remember that. I think it comes up 60 more times.
Okay.
She just learned aesthetic the week
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
In her word of the day. It was fun. And what was it like to work with Aaron Eckhart and play that
Who?
relationship? I bet you they did have to do this like 5 times. 'Cause
Mm.
Aaron and I, in real life, I have a very different relationship. Those things just transfer over unless you're actively trying to suppress them. Aaron and I interact with one another very differently than Johnny and I do. People work like that. People work like that, I guess. Chemistries are different. I have a lot of respect for Aaron and his talent and his complexity. I very much appreciated my Aaron and Johnny sandwich. It was a good team.
Oh.
I bet.
Johnny and I have a
Get your mind out of the gutter.
Johnny and I have like a subconscious connection on that kind of level. Aaron and I are just buddies. With Johnny and I, it's much deeper.
It's exactly what that translated as. That's the gold digger translation. How did you see the difference in the relationships that Chenault has both with Sanderson and Paul Kemp? Heard. Well, I like Chenault is because she serves a surrogate vehicle for the audience. Surrogate vehicle. Tracy Jacobs, you sure can write a great interview.
Yeah.
A surrogate vehicle, says this 24-year-old stripper.
Who has never said those words since.
Flappy Fish Market stripper who's never used this.
You need a hazmat suit.
Dime a dozen ex-stripper, as he said in that quote, right?
Yeah.
That great rant he has. We take the journey with her. She's very much a commodity of this upper class. She encompasses the American dream. She embodies this deal that men either want to possess and own or that women strive to be. It's an interesting thing to appreciate her in that detached way. But I had to, because I know there's more to her than that. Oh, so she knows more about than Hunter S. Thompson does.
Of course.
It's her character now. It's not Hunter's.
She gave birth to this character. I hate actress speak.
Johnny, you made your own bed, my man. I'll say it again. All you had to do was cast Scarlett Johansson. This never would happen.
All you had to do was slow down and examine the situation before you, because they met in 2009, right? Like years before this movie started filming. He had, I don't get it. Anyway, he regrets it today.
It took a while for this. It was tough to get this. I mean, he paid that Depp's production company did this. So this is the power, infinitum nihil, having the power to get this movie made. This is one of its first big projects, if not the most one, where he had, and it didn't make any money. It didn't make any, and he had all the stake in this to get this thing off the ground. And it was his salute to Hunter S. Thompson. The irony of that, right? You can almost blame Hunter S. Thompson for wrecking his life, ironically.
Yeah. Well, and
right?
you watched
You'd
that
never
movie.
have met her if it's not for Hunter.
Thanks, pal.
No, that's what
you watched.
That's
that
what
movie.
he wrought.
Where's this special chemistry that, according to him, just seeps through the screen? I didn't see it at all watching the movie.
I've seen better chemistry from Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham.
Yeah. You're breaking my heart. Oh. Thanks.
They have no chemistry. You're right.
Well, just remember the Steelers lost.
Think about all the women. Think about, your Kate Winslets and your Keira Knightleys and your Winona Ryders, and you go to this. Juliette Lewis, even.
Yeah.
As somebody Sarah Jessica Parker and Patricia Arquette and on and on.
Yep.
Anne Heche, for Christ's sake.
Yep.
He had better chemistry with a lesbian or
I,
whatever she's calling herself.
I think she's married to a man now and they have kids. I don't know. I'm not up to date. I
As
haven't paid it.
somebody who's go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I haven't paid attention to her since she was on Another World in the late 80s and early 90s playing Vicky Hudson, my favorite character on that soap opera.
Oh, that's right. She was a soap opera actor. That's
Yes,
right.
she was. She was my favorite.
She's great as Maggie Pistone in Donnie Brasco. She
That
plays a
she
great
is.
Jersey broad.
She put
She
up with a
really
lot of
is.
crap, Ms.
I thought
Pistone.
I thought Edie Falco modeled Carmela Soprano after her. That's my theory.
That's
I think she's looking for an angle, and she watched Donnie Brasco and goes, "You know what? I'm going to kind of do that
it's a good
for the whole
theory.
series."
Hmm.
It's just my theory. I haven't
Yeah.
heard Edie admit to it, but as brilliant as Edie Falco is, and The Sopranos are, but Donnie Brasco came first.
Yeah.
Same neck of the woods too, by the way, North Jersey. A lot of similarities.
Hmm.
As somebody who's used to being viewed on a certain level, I appreciate that there's some sort of indignation with such assumptions. You get used to those assumptions, and either you rebel against, like, is that rebel again, or you don't.
Mm.
I'm a rebel. Okay, so here we go. I'm
Ugh.
a rebel. And I relate to the rebel spirit in Chenault. She
There you
embodies the
go.
archetype.
Everything he wants in a woman. Never mind that the woman is the mother of your children. I have a Texas Spitfire here I got to go cheat with.
Now, just picture you're going through a midlife crisis. You are in a
Ugh.
classic midlife crisis thing, and you have checked out of your relationship with Michael Strahan, and you're reading this, and the wheels start spinning. She knows exactly what she's doing here.
Yeah. Tonto Man. Remember?
Tonto Man. Yep.
It's all that
She embodies.
Spitfire. That sexual Spitfire is written in the words on that note in her
She embodies
classic
the archetype.
topless pose. Anyway, go ahead. Oops.
She embodies the archetype of 1950s and 60s woman who's a socialite. She's trapped in this glass world, and her fall from grace allows her to fall in love with Paul Kemp and go the opposite way. Paul Kemp represents one end of the spectrum, and Sanderson represents the other, and they both represent almost the opposite of one another in the struggle for what the American dream is. Chenault best carries that transition. We see her go from one to the other, and we do that with her. What's it like for you to be in this business and go after the roles that you really want? Do you have to find a way to use your sexuality when you need to?
Ugh.
I would love not to, but it's impossible when you're this sexy. But the sad thing is about our society is that women are put into two categories.
There you go.
You're either in the beautiful category, or you're seen as sexy and beautiful, or some version of that. And then you're put into another category. In those categories, there comes a certain set of obligations, expectations, and standards. The former allows you a larger flame, and that flame dies super quick, and you have nowhere to go from there. You have to do something else by the time you're 30 years old. And if you haven't found another way to explore your own identity, make something of it. The latter category affords women the opportunity to be smart, funny, independent, mean, strong, intelligent, and opinionated. We take them seriously as politicians if they fit into that category. That's in relative terms, not seriously relative to a man. We respect their opinions more and more and give them higher expectations. The latter category is what allows female actors to be characters. It's a sad fact. I feel like they have Depp's earpiece in her right now, and she's being told this is such a load. It goes on. It's a sad fact of our society that there are no
Ugh.
characters that exist in the former. You just play that one role. You play that one note. In the latter category, you are afforded much of that opportunity. I would love nothing more than to participate in a real struggle to find a character and really delve and develop a character. That's why I'm an actor, and I will continue to struggle against that standard. That's what I reference when I say that I'm a rebel. I'm
Mm.
continually fighting against that. See, hear the Depp interview
Mhm.
tropes there, the cliches from every day. I'm fighting against that. I don't take parts because they're for the sexy girl. I take the sexy girl parts and try to give them something else and make them into a character. I just know that at some point you have to choose between the two. We didn't take Charlize Theron seriously after she did Monster and she became physically ugly. I would love to see women be able to be powerful, complex, and smart, opinionated, and then taken seriously, even if they're beautiful like me. Even more, I would love to see women held to different standards, other than the superficial ones that we're already holding on to. Okay, this is it.
Lucky for
Do you have
her.
any?
Lucky for her, women are held to a different standard when it comes to
So
domestic violence.
after she says this, she contradicts it to me. She goes, "Do you have any idea what you're going to do next?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm going to be promoting my film Sierra. I play Six. Who it's again? Listen to the character description. I play Six, who is very, very, very smart, independent, and fierce as a young woman who is taking very seriously in her world, and I'm excited about that. And then I'm on to the next job. Just came off my show, the Playboy Club, where I play a Playboy bunny. So we'll see.
Ah, God damn, she's annoying.
There's going to be a time where anything she does, this isn't said. My character is very, very, very smart and independent and fierce and opinionated and strong. Like, there's never going to be a time when that's not going to be the exact character description she uses.
Mm-hmm.
And a rebel.
Have you heard of any of those movies
So
she's
there you
talking
see
about?
the succubus getting her hooks in him.
Mm-hmm.
If that interview doesn't personify all of the scammer, I don't know what does. It is all in that interview. Every paragraph, by the way, there's never a lull where she's not planting the seeds. It's all in that.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10 years ago.
Yep. Look what she's gotten out of it. She's a spokesman and a warrior for the Me Too movement now.
By the way, I'm not even going to read the story, but that, the actor Brian Cox from Succession,
Yeah.
the HBO show, it's about the Murdochs, and I read the story where he was
Mm-hmm.
trying to take the piss out of Depp in his book by saying he's nothing and he's motionless, and he walked it back this week. I think he's getting pummeled in certain areas, and he's like, well, no, he's really a terrific actor, and so it's not even worth reading. But I knew he'd eventually walk it back. He took out Ed Norton, who I hear is a real a-hole. One of these days I'll read you. There was an article once comparing Johnny Depp and Ed Norton, how they are on sets and how different. There was a guy who said Ed Norton's the most difficult, biggest asshole he's ever met, and Depp is the sweetest A-list first on a call sheet he's ever worked with in his life. And you hear that over and over again.
I
But
can totally with
Brian
Edward
Cox
Norton.
worked with Ed Norton. Yeah, he's the worst.
Yeah. Okay.
He couldn't even get along with the Marvel guys.
Mm-hmm.
He couldn't even hold on to that Hulk role. He couldn't even appreciate Bruce Banner. He had to be difficult on Bruce Banner.
Mm-hmm. Well, he dated Courtney Love for like 4.5 years, so
Oh, it's all back to Nirvana with you all the time. It's
that's gonna
amazing.
fry anybody's brain.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Salma Hayek too.
She dated him during the American History X era.
Courtney or Salma Hayek?
No, I don't know about Salma Hayek. Courtney Love.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You ready?
Didn't Stuttering John get to Salma Hayek once at an
I don't
awards
know.
thing? It might have been that movie Keeping the Faith, when Ed Norton played a priest and Ben Stiller played a rabbi. And he asked Salma Hayek, he was like, Salma, why you've been in this country for 20 years. How come you can't speak English yet?
Ugh. Neither can he, first of all.
But it's true. She's now at 55, and she still has that Mexican lilt, like it's so strong, and it's deliberate. She can't,
married.
without it.
She can get away with it. She's married to a billionaire. She has a daughter with a billionaire. She's doing fine. She doesn't need to speak any English.
Someday, that A-list actress latching onto a financier thing needs to be investigated. How these actors, you can think it's their agent that's doing this.
Well, they always
Like
say
the
they meet.
financier has some mutual friend, and then the agent.
I don't know.
I have a crush on Salma Hayek. Make that happen. Almost like Elon Musk and Robert Rodriguez and the succubus.
Mm-hmm. Who knows? I don't even want to get involved in that world. Okay.
Well, you're in it now. Too bad.
No,
folks.
I'm not. I paycheck to paycheck here. Okay,
Just like Amber.
now she is.
Now, hopefully, yeah. Well, after the trial, let's hope it's worse than that.
Well, it'll just be covered by Elon Musk. He'll sell a couple Teslas and pay for everything that she
I
needs to pay in
know.
damages.
I so want to know where he's lurking in all this. We're never really gonna know.
He's
I
pulling
mean, he
strings.
has, yeah, he's all right. He's the ultimate puppet master, and I'm sure he has ways of being the silent partner in this, and not
Hmm.
being known just what he's up to. We'll never
Yeah,
know fully.
he's giving his deposition, I believe, within the next couple of days here. So I wonder how much of
Can't
that's going to
wait.
be leaked, if anything.
I can't wait.
All
So let's
right.
get to the.
Okay, let's give some context here. All right. So this recording, and we got about an hour here of recording out of a 2 hour total timed recording session they did. We'll cover that in maybe a part two,
Two and change, right? Isn't it like 2 hours and 3 minutes or something? The
maybe.
entire
Yeah.
there's rumors that there's more of it, right? I mean, it's not necessarily.
Yeah, there's many more hours apparently of audio that's not even released yet. And it's going to come out in the trial. And it's going to favor him apparently. So, and that's why she's trying to put a block on it coming out. I don't know. We'll see. So,
So
context.
very very Trumpian move right there, right? Blocking real evidence,
Yeah, well,
obstructing the obstructionist.
mhm.
Keep going. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just gonna grab some ice.
Okay. So, context. They had a big row as they usually do during the final months of this marriage. They have a blow up. He splits. He goes back. He leaves. I believe this maybe was at one of the penthouses, but he leaves to head off to the mansion on the other side of Los Angeles. She comes to visit him so they can have a little self counseling session. What they and by their actual marriage counselor, apparently they were assigned the task of recording their arguments and their discussions so they could listen back to them later. So I will go ahead, I'll start this. I hope to God the volume is loud enough. If not, I'll figure it out.
I thought I thought that we had some sort of game plan.
I told you what I needed. You said we should make a list, but yet you don't. Well, seeing the counselor is not gonna it's not gonna do it. It's not alone. I know. We gotta change how we do things. And I want to trust you, and I feel like all the trust is gone. All the fucking trust is gone in the relationship because you keep splitting.
Okay, her major thing, and you're going to notice this through this discussion, she's not upset necessarily that he gets angry, that he's violent. Her big thing is that when she gets mad and gets violent and wants to stay and fight, he leaves. You also notice, and I don't want to set the scene, you make your own judgments when you're listening to this.
What this thing that he's getting? What guy readily engages in like mano a mano with a woman in a physical? You sit there and you kind of fend her off and you don't take it seriously, and she wails on you incessantly and screams, and you kind of like, I could you know I could suplex you right now if I wanted to, but I won't. And she gets, you know what I mean, like it's like this equal for like he's gonna you're not, you just can't react. You're not allowed to, even when a woman's wailing on you in self-defense. Somehow now this is being spun where it's wrong to even defend yourself when you're being, he's the type where I could see, and again, who knows, drug induced, whatever, there's had to be times where he lost it, and who could blame him, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But you got to set the scene where she's psychotically and the nails are flailing around, and he's just kind of like, just kind of covering up and probably fending her off like guys are wont to do. And eventually it happens enough, you just lose it.
She's
And who
literally
wouldn't?
throwing glass and metal objects at his head.
She wants the reaction.
Yeah, she's getting off. She is mad, and he what happens is he runs to the bathroom to hide. He goes to his office at the other end of the manor to hide, and this is what she's angry about. So, all right, I'll resume it.
We fight
If
together,
there's no
but you're the
trust,
only one who splits, and I want that back. But you
if there's no trust, there's nothing to be
then
talking
maybe
about.
maybe there's nothing to talk about. But I did come over here with enough love in my heart and sincerity
Thank you.
to
Is that
say to
sarcastic?
you,
No, I think he means it, sadly.
I can't tell with him sometimes.
I don't think so. I think he's totally sincere in this. He is
We
so
never really get a good read on where she has it. Is she renting a house with her sister around the corner?
No, I think they're staying in the block of penthouses, and she has come over to the manor off of Sunset, I think. And you know that massive mansion he had? Or I don't know if he still has it.
I thought she kept that
I don't
rented
know.
house, and he
I
was
don't
paying
know.
for it, and he
It's
was and she, as an escape
I don't know.
during this. It gives you a headache with all the residences and stuff, and trying to
There's so
figure
much
out the.
real estate
Uh,
in this. Oh my
I
god.
know, I know.
It just in the same city. It's insane.
He has a whole block in the Sweetser and Orange, and whereas the compound, and then the
Yeah.
penthouses with it. And then, from what I understand, he was paying for her place that she had rented, and I don't know how often she retreated. And I think her sister took it over
That's possible, yeah.
at a certain point, and then the sister moved in
Then
to
his
the
sister moved into one
penthouses.
of the 5 penthouses and then moved out, and then it's just nomads, and they're living off of him, and it's just gross.
Bohemian, right?
Yeah.
Vagabond,
Selling their
grifting
beads.
nomads. Yeah, selling their beads,
Somehow able to
selling their
live
magic
in
beads.
yeah, somehow able to live in an exclusive penthouse,
And
in one of
the
the
thing
most
is,
desirable
no, go ahead, go
in
ahead.
one of the most desirable buildings in Los Angeles, selling beads at the local marketplace. How it you don't feel slightly guilty if you're one of these leeches?
I find it. He's at least 20 years older than everybody in that penthouse scenario.
Yeah.
So there's a complete, age, like there's no relatable. He's generations removed, but I guess his artist friends there too, right? So like he's in
Yeah.
one of the penthouses, and maybe that's his oasis, no pun intended, to escape from and get somebody within my decade
Yeah, he would.
to
There's
to re- to reference with.
a lot of instances where he would just go to this friend, Isaac?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
and
Baruch,
just vent
Isaac
about
Baruch.
her. Yeah.
Stupid name. Everything's a weird name, and every name there's no like there's no Tom Hansen in this whole scenario. Everyone's got pretentious. They sound fake. All the names sound like SAG stage names, and there's a pretentious lilt to everything. The
You know,
fuck is
he has
Rocky
Isaac has a
Pennington?
great quickie deposition that we could do a very quick episode on too one day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
A lot of insight into the days after she claims she was attacked with a cell phone in the face.
yeah, yep.
All right.
all the things I said, which now I feel like, but I meant them. You know, I fucking meant them.
She does a lot of tough talking here too, where she's phrasing things the way that she knows he likes. It
Oh
goes
yeah,
back
I
to
mean you
that
could
Spitfire
e-
thing.
even a word as simple as split.
Exactly. That's a Johnny Depp word. You
Yes, it is.
split. And
It's his generation use the word split over
you
and over again.
exactly. So another thing too is if you listen to her tone, does this sound like a woman that's afraid her husband is going to beat her?
If anybody gets a chance, maybe we can pull it up later. And I'm not even playing like armchair psychologist, no pun intended. I don't think you don't have to be Dr. Seaver, growing pains, with a side office on the side of the house to figure out, or you don't have to be Dr. Mickler, Marlon Brando, to figure out. She has like the histrionic personality disorder to the tilt, among other things. But if you look up histrionic personality disorder, she hits every single category, probably more than any other schizophrenic. Schizophrenic's like a compliment. I don't want to give her an out with schizophrenia. Histrionic personality disorder is, I think, everything she is.
Yeah.
Sociopath too, which is part of it, I guess.
All right, let it play for just a bit here.
Even though you fucking split, didn't come home, you know, I still
language.
Did that.
Yeah.
Fucking have shown myself. I've proven myself. I've fought for you. I've showed up.
I'm not gonna be
How
in a
is she
physical fuck.
I don't know.
Where is she, in what
No,
instance? In what arena is she fighting for him?
No, what she's referring to is her standing her ground with him when they're one-on-one. That's her fighting for the relationship. That's made
All
clear
right,
as we
I'm
go along
interpreting
in
as
this.
like she defended him
She's
somewhere outside.
No.
right.
You know, she was
Okay.
bitching about him to everybody behind his back, calling him
Oh,
fat
God,
and
yeah.
old and
Yep.
laughing about him. And while she's cheating with both sexes on him in their
So
marital
did he.
bed.
In all fairness, so did he.
Yeah, well, I would too.
Rochelle Hathaway, anybody?
Occasion
Don't.
with you.
Then don't.
You fucking hit me last night. You fucking.
What about all the other times you split?
That's a little Brasco voice there.
Yeah.
You cannot act like that's about that. It's
Well,
not.
well, on a plane, I can't split.
No, and you hit back. So don't act like you don't fucking
I
participate.
pushed you.
I'm not going to get into the details of that fight.
Of course you're not. You know you're recording this. You're not going to admit that he didn't hit you or you were the aggressor, or you're not going to go into details. I broke my rule. I'm going to let it play.
Picture that security staff and his staff in general on that plane watching that, just going, what do we do here?
God.
What do we do here? She's wailing on him. He's in a little NyQuil cup reading a, Allen Ginsberg passage or a fake reading. And they're sitting there looking at her going, what do we do? We jump in? Do we restrain her? You ever see a couple like fight, and you're like, what do I do here? And you're like really uncomfortable. And you know that it's probably for the better if you did do something, but you just can't.
I don't get involved. I leave. And people don't fight in front of me. I'm so calm. It bleeds into them. I'm like, no,
By the way, do
let
you
it
know
go.
anybody else who's used this therapy technique with the recording each other?
No.
I'm sure it's been done, but like, if anybody is listening to this, if you know anybody who's done this, I want to know what the results were. I'm sure there's been movies and TV shows that have dealt with this therapy technique, but I don't know anyone who's done this.
No, I never
I mean, you
have.
got to run around. I guess now with cell phones, you can kind of do this.
This is what the elite do, maybe.
Yeah.
You and I both know that you split when there is no physical violence.
I'm saying split.
And that
God,
you
I'm
do
tired of
it like at the very beginning of fights these days. And if you split and you go into a different room and you don't actually leave that house, it does nothing but perpetuate the fight. And you don't actually do it respectfully. You don't do it in a way that actually means we won't fight. It always makes more fights. It always makes them longer. It never, ever makes you calmer. You never come out going, I want to talk, or I'm okay, or it's going to be okay. And I am I'm sick and tired 100% of being the only one that goes and fights for it. You know what that does? It demoralizes the half of this relationship that is me. It demeans me.
Ugh.
Demoralizes me.
Really?
Yes, really. Really, when you split on me, how do you feel when I leave you?
If I hear split one more time.
We'll get used to it. It's coming.
Let's split an atom. Let's split an atom, Toots.
This is that Spitfire, that Texas bitch.
Split fire, you mean?
Yeah, slit fire. Okay.
When I go into the other room, you're saying?
You leave how you get another room, you get a flight, things like that. And you asked me not to in Australia.
Honey, I would throw you off the flight when we're in the air if you came after me like she would come after him.
Well, she knows there's nowhere to go. She's got him, and he has to pay attention. He has to give a reaction.
If you are hitting me and I'm stuck in a tube with you and nobody's intervening to pull you off of me, I'm opening that hatch and you're going out.
Picture that poor Race Bannon pilot Hal
Oh,
Jordan
God.
flying the plane and has got to hear this, right? I mean, in a private jet, you can't escape, especially a fight. I mean, wouldn't that be like right on top of this poor bastard?
Yeah. Would you rather be that pilot or the Epstein pilot?
That's a
It's like,
great question.
ugh. Ugh.
That's a great question.
Whoever pays more, I guess. All right.
Australia, and ever
No,
since then, I've thought,
how many?
I
You're
don't know. I
wrong.
have to count them up.
No, because I haven't left you in a house maybe twice. Last night and another time.
No, you've done it before. I've come here before. I'm not doing that anymore.
Well, yeah, you've come here before. Last time and another time, and then last night.
You've done this several times, and
went to
getting
other
me a
rooms.
room. I mean, getting another room at a hotel is just the same thing.
Oh,
When did I
tantrum.
get another room at a hotel?
You text Steven or Nathan in Toronto to get you another room.
Nathan Holmes, Stephen Deuters, for all you that haven't jerked off to this transcript from the UK.
I want to say something else too. She's mentioned Toronto, so I'll get into that before she goes off in a second. Toronto, there apparently at the premiere, she joined. Well, they both had a premiere at the same time at the Toronto Film Festival in 2015.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's another YouTuber that was working at that film festival at that time, and there was a very strong um, rumor going around. Apparently, they were late showing up. Of course, apparently
Well,
they. Go ahead.
no, you go.
Apparently there was a very strong rumor that she was going ape shit behind the scenes,
Sure.
the succubus, and apparently in their hotel room, and audio was coming of this apparently at the trial. The entire attack that she put on him, it was recorded.
Oh my God.
So that's the big kahuna of the evidence that I'm waiting for.
Well, how about this? And I say we put it in when you masterfully put this together at the end. I showed you a video from Toronto.
Hmm.
And by the way, Aoki, Dustin Gwen, that's where they reunited. They were
Yeah.
at the same film festival. That was our last you hear Dustin Gwen at the end in an interview talking about the last time they spoke, and he was at the same film festival. But oddly enough, so I sent you a video, and we got to put this in at the end. Depp has a black eye.
Yep.
This isn't like us fishing. This is exactly the same film. Exactly when this fight happened, Depp has a black eye in an interview we found with him on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's in a hallway. So there's some interviews, some asking softball questions in a hallway, and he has a black eye. His left eye is black. There's no mistaking it. It's not makeup. It's not the lighting. His eye is black.
Yep.
Not super black, but it's black.
Another fact
can't
before
miss it.
we get into her meltdown here in a second. Toronto, of course, they both have a movie going on at this film festival. His is Black Mass, of course. Hers is The Danish Girl. Nobody gave a shit about. So that tells you, even this marriage.
That's the Billy Bob Thornton cheating movie.
Ugh, God.
That was remember the Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah. He
you
was.
know, he
yeah.
Well, he wrote the thing, right? He wrote Billy Bob and Blood.
Mm-hmm. There's apparently some.
And Billy Bob got so freaked out he had to apologize. He denied it all, and he went. He was trying to hide. He was trying to duck it, and he couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I think the Depp. I think the Depp army just came hard at him in every way, and he had to address it.
Yeah.
I had nothing to do with it. I don't know nothing. Like that Angelina Jolie, you fucking cheat. You dropped Laura Dern like she was a CBS sitcom. And you cheated with Angelina Jolie. Yeah, we believe you. You got credibility. That Tom Petty thing, I want to beat his ass. I can't stand that guy.
He dropped Angelina Jolie when she adopted a child that he
Right.
originally had agreed to adopt with her. So he leaves her as soon as she adopts Maddie.
65-year-old bachelor. Yeah, Billy Bob.
Oh God, watch Monster. He's got sex scenes in Monster. It is so disgusting. Okay.
Monsters Ball.
Monsters Ball, whatever. Yeah, not the serial killer movie. Sorry.
Does his hair plugs come off in the sex scenes, or does he have to readjust it? Have you ever seen? He makes John Travolta look like Patrick Stewart.
God,
with that
poor
fucking
Halle
hairpiece
Berry.
he has now.
Poor Halle Berry, what she had to do on that floor next to the couch.
I can't stand that guy. I can't stand that guy. He was in Dead Man believe it or not. He and Depp had a little bit of friendly, you know, not. I mean, I'm sure that's been completely obliterated now, but they were
Mhm.
somewhat friendly before that. Those days are
Yeah.
gone. I don't think he believes a word of. I think that Depp, they knows in his, he probably has evidence that was one of the many people she cheated on him with.
Oh yeah.
It's chronic. It happens all the time. And if you do it to go into another room, you do it and you get dressed.
You were fucking screaming at me.
I'm not going to validate my actions last night. I feel very bad.
No, I'm talking in Toronto.
Uh-oh, here we go.
I did not start screaming until you had fucking said all this shit. You poke an animal enough, it is eventually, doesn't matter how friendly it is
That's
or how
not
cool.
true. Well,
I
it's
stayed
the same
cool
for
so
me.
long,
It's the same for
and you
me,
kicked
kid.
and kicked and kicked so bad. I have not done this to you. I have not said these things to you. I have not started the fight by saying I'm going to get in another room. And I'm not going to sit here and fight about fucking Toronto anymore. Guess what? I let it go.
There it goes.
I'm not.
What?
Here it goes.
She's insane.
What's the other psychological disorder? Again, not giving her a pass. I'm not using the psych pass. Only I'm allowed to do that. Borderline personality disorder. So she is the two
Extreme.
things. Look up the definition of borderline personality disorder and histrionic. The two worst things you could ever be.
Yeah. Sorry, I paused it right in the
Embody.
middle of the screen.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking talking about Toronto.
Send me the tapes.
I can whisper it. I can write it.
Oh, I hate the whispering more.
Yeah.
About Toronto. I'm so sick and tired of fucking fighting
I'd rather be
about
screamed
old
at.
fights. This is not about a fight. This is broad. This is a broad thing. And if I'm telling you every single time you get dressed and you fucking split the top of a fight, you never fucking try and work it out, you never fight for me, you never come to me, you never self-calm, you never self-soothe.
I hate her. Self-soothe.
Solo therapy speak now. Self-soothe. Self-calm.
I don't think he's the one. Listening to tone here, I don't think he's the one that needs to be soothing or self-soothing or self-calming, whatever the fuck she's talking about. She's insane.
Have you ever heard an eye roll in audio?
Ugh.
How many times do you think he rolled his eyes so far? We've been listening.
I think, you know what, honestly, I think listening to how he's just taking this, I think he's sincere in this. And that's sad to me.
I think he's rolling his eyes more than Tom Hansen in season 4.
She is lucky he left. He split. She's lucky because if she were,
You're saying split now. Now you're saying split.
well, I'm mocking her, but if she's in my face screaming like this, no, she's lucky I was not Johnny Depp that day.
Don't you think she knows what she can get away with him by now?
Of
Walk right up
course.
to that line, knowing what is getting away with too. She wants to be reacted to.
Mhm.
She wants him to flip out. She wants him to hit her.
Yeah.
She's goading him all day, all night. Does anybody blame him for just rearing back and giving her a Donnie Brasco slap like NH in that last scene?
Yeah.
Some of you broads just to quote Sean Connery. I'm just kidding.
No, you don't.
You're never the one to throw the olive branch. I'm sick and tired of it. It needs to fucking change. And you can go, I can't meet those demands. I can't do it. Or you can fucking promise me so I have a modicum of safety. I feel a modicum of respect. A little tiny shit sliver of fucking like, you are in this whether it is good or bad. Whether it is good or bad. Down and up. Lows and highs. Tough and easy. Not just when it's easy.
There it goes.
We haven't really been good. It hasn't really been a safe environment, now has it? You act like you're fucking on something when I haven't, sent you this. Like, well, send them to me. Get this. It hasn't been good. It's been a little tough.
Well, it wasn't before Rio.
Was it tough?
I mean, it was only in the sense that you tried to keep me,
It's been really tough.
And why did you come to Rio?
All I've been trying to do is be with you, spend time with you. You said you needed that. You said that it made a difference that I wasn't working. You wanted me to travel with you.
That was the
You
time
said
you were
our
looking for
relationship would be
apartments?
different. That was after Toronto.
Yeah, that's when we came back here.
I know where we
Toronto,
were.
Boston, here,
I know where we were.
rehearsals.
We've been on the road basically since Australia, and I have been at your side, and I have not been filming a movie.
Well, we were on
And
our honeymoon. I hope you were at my
I'm
side.
not talking about just a honeymoon now, am I? I'm talking about many months. And was it all the honeymoon? No. I have been at your side throughout it all. You said, why did you come to Rio? And I answered you.
You see, she's used to. She has a routine going now, and this isn't a compliment to anybody. This is what Scamber does. He's so busy in this
Mm-hmm.
era with film after film after film and the production company and the vampire crap. She's used to him just going away for 3 and 4 months at a time. She can do
Yeah, and
whatever she wants.
she's angry because he expects her to join him at some point. And
Yeah, she's not used to any kind of um dedication or consistency with him, and she's used, like I've said, she used to having 3 and 4 and 5 months all to herself in this huge sprawling penthouse, 5 penthouses,
yeah.
and she probably never goes to his other the compound because there's people there who hate her, who are on to her
Mm-hmm.
before he is.
Yep.
The mom hates her, the sister hates her.
Mm-hmm. That's
Lily
probably where
Rose, I can't
that's
quite
probably where the
track.
kids are primarily. Is that the big house?
Yeah, and back and forth with Vanessa, but
Yeah.
um yeah, she's used to having this crazy life of leisure, and where she gets him however she wants him. He's 3 months and back and whatever. She never actually has to fight through anything.
Yeah.
When you're around someone, like any relationship, like when a person's around someone more, it's tested. You have to fight through, you have to compromise and fight through things. When there's separation and you have a long distance relationship, or in this case, like, yeah, of course, I'm surprised it lasted 15 months. Think
Mm-hmm.
about that. It broke up. Their marriage actually broke up with that distance.
Yep. I mean, you can't when you're forced to travel with your husband, you can't invite James Franco into the marital bed or Elon Musk into the marital bed for some kinky threesome with some
She knows
model.
exactly when he's leaving. She knows
Yep.
she probably had all this stuff, um, ironed out with the front desk, and they know what to avoid, and they're
Oh,
trained to mind their own business, for a
oh,
while.
yeah, those poor front desk people watching this happen. And then Johnny Depp arrives in town, who is paying for this place, and he's nice to you. And I
Yes,
read that
probably gets huge tips on Christmas time and stuff.
yeah, and oh my God, you can't say a word while
But
he's
also
getting
too,
dicked
like,
over.
obviously, I mean, I'm not calling anybody stupid as far as the staff there and stuff, but they don't know, the Hollywood machine and industry. It's so weird. You can lie so easily, and you have to believe. Oh, James Franco's coming over because we're auditioning. We have to work on a movie to get, like, she doesn't have to explain herself, but they could think, oh, well, it's, we see people in and out of here all the time, and
Well, they're
meetings,
watching
and
they're watching that security footage in the elevator with her going down in a blanket, naked under some blanket. Um,
at 11:30 at night.
yeah, letting Elon Musk in the back door, literally.
I would love for it to be better. I have no fucking consistency, no safety, no
She
security.
even tries
The
to
relation.
curse like him.
I know, it's
And she
ridiculous.
says, fucking.
She's a tough talking spitfire, and
Oh,
I
I
hate
know. She got
saying
to
that.
keep up that Austin persona. When she goes, I think she says it a few more times too. When you hear that, she goes, "I would love for him to go in Nebraska mode after she said olive branch," and he just goes,
Well, she
"I
goes,
got your olive branch right here."
I think she realizes she's being so harsh with him at some point here that she goes into the
Yeah,
love bombing again, which is like,
right.
"You're the most beautiful, shiny person I know." Okay. And she knows that's
Yeah, well,
going
that's
to
funny you said. I was thinking about this the other day. I was thinking about that, and I haven't read the transcript for about a year, but certain things pop in my brain once in a while. And his assistant, when Depp was really on the balls of his ass, whatever that means in his world, but he was
Mhm.
really at his lowest point. I think it was Nathan Holmes. I got to go back and read it again. Was writing him these, like, texts just like that, just like words of,
Yeah.
just just lionizing compliments. I would never have gotten into this business if it wasn't for you. You are the top of the industry. There's nobody like you. Like, I mean, just laying, because I think he knew that he's never seen Depp so low, and he hasn't been complimented in a long time. And it seemed like the world and the industry had turned against him, and it had. Public opinion, the people who don't follow this thing, think he's a wife beater.
Yep.
Relationship is something you don't fight for, you don't stand up for, you always run from when it's tough. I'm telling you, I need more. We didn't say vows. You didn't make them exactly in that way, But now is the fucking time. I need to know if you're going to be there. I want promises. I told you that at the beginning of this conversation. I need promises you're going to fucking be there. I need promises that this is important to you. Not when it's easy, when it's hard too. This is something you'll fight for. That this is something that's sacred, that neither of us throw out every fight. I can't be the only one to hold the promises. I was in Toronto and it fucked me over. I can't be the only one. You can't be the only one. If I split on you, all those times that I thought about doing it, we would not be here. And I stayed, and it's tougher. That's stronger. I'm stronger.
See, that's why I think when she's talking about I stayed and fought for you, that means she's the one brave enough to stay and scream it out and just confront the problems. But her confronting problems automatically turns into throwing a roundhouse into the jaw and kicking the door in when he's hiding in the bathroom. But that's him splitting and not, standing up or fighting for the relationship. She's a psycho.
I don't want to get all Alicia Keys or Gloria Allred on you with this, but this strong woman thing. When somebody has to tell you that they're a strong woman over and over again,
Yeah.
They ain't that strong.
They're the most insecure breed of woman created.
You ain't that strong in any capacity that you have. The strongest women I know don't need to tell you that. Or men, forget about it. I'm not sound like I'm sexist here. Doesn't make okay. There's guys just like that have to tell you how strong they are all the time, right? The real guy, the real strong guy, doesn't need to tell you.
Nope.
Like your dad in Vietnam. I think he's my vision of a strong man who doesn't need to tell you that every time.
I agree.
After I just listened to the Vietnam, the Jump Street episode,
I know. By the way, I had a brain fart. Quickly, and we'll move on with this. I said he served for 2 to 3 years. It was like 8 months. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
You're getting a lot of shit online for that.
No, I'm not. I probably should, but I'm not. I just thought I would correct
heads are going to be all over you. They're going to look your dad's service up. No, but that's great because it's closer to Captain Fuller's service.
I'm looking out my window now. I see the torches outside my window. They're coming in.
Private Adam Fuller only served for 15 months, right? You said it was 15
I think so,
months?
yeah. I think so.
It is easy to run. It is easy to run away from problems. It is easy to take that out and say, well, that's the easiest. That's the best, safest. That's the safest way out. I'm not saying we should get in physical altercations. I never want to be in that. Never.
But you do it.
But every time you don't like what I say and you fucking run away, will never work out anything. You can't run away every fight.
I got a solution.
What?
If this is better than audio therapy, what they're doing. Do what her dad does. Have Pistol and Boo fight it out in a ring.
Yeah.
Every time they get at each other.
Yeah. Boo can represent him. Pistol can represent her.
Right, and they just fight every time. And her dad can referee, and they can just dog fight.
Yeah, if they don't win or they don't fight up to his standards, he can put him down.
Yep, or send to Australia, and they'll put him down.
Yeah, exactly.
Barnaby Jones. Joyce.
You can't. It's easy. It's not brave. It's not strong. It's harder to say to somebody, I want to work this out. I want to face what I have. I want to face what you have. I want to work it out with you. You're not working it out. You're running away, and then you make me be the bigger person every single time and come to you and knock on the door and come to this house and say, Hey, we're married. It's supposed to be sacred. Calm down. Calm down.
I made you.
Yes, by default. If you're never the one to do it, one of us is, and I'm the one to do it every time. It means I'm the bigger person every time. It means I have to be the strong one. It means every time I have to fight for our relationship, and you get to be you get to be lazy. You get to be cowardly. I don't know what it is.
What are you here for? What do you need me for?
Once again, I am fighting for the relationship.
With a guy that you don't fucking trust or like? Why?
I did not say I didn't like you. I love you. You're my favorite person in the world.
I don't see how
I remember what I said at the beginning. I'm sorry you feel like you can't imagine it. But I said this to you at the beginning of this conversation. I said, you're my favorite person in the whole world. If you weren't the most magnetic, shiny, beautiful, interesting, dynamic person I had ever met in my life, it would be so easy to walk away from this bratty thing that you do.
Untrustworthy.
Did you hear what I just said? I said I can't trust. I can't trust. That's not meaning you're untrustworthy. It means that we've created a situation, and I'm telling you what you do to create it too. We've created a situation in which trust can't grow. It's like it's trampled every single time, and we need a marriage. That's why I sat down. Do you not remember me sitting down at the very beginning of this conversation and saying just that to you? Saying, I know you got married for security.
Yep.
I know you've listened to this like 100 times. And I've listened to it my share. What do you think the word count is, him versus her? 1,001?
1,000
in terms of her speaking versus him speaking. Just
1,000
overall word
to
count.
15. 1,000 to 15. I'll be generous with him.
Okay, I'll give you that.
You know, when she uses the word trust, let's keep in mind, it's not like trust in that she's going to be faithful to him, because she's not. They're both doing their
I
little.
Get out of it, trust. What's in it for me? Trust.
Trust.
I want to trust you, so I get my way.
Trust for her. I think it all comes down to, you're going to stay and fight me. Because her thing is, he leaves. That's why she's having this tantrum, because he leaves. I don't get her at all. She needs psychotherapy. She needs to be committed into some
I don't think she's tough to figure out.
decades-long program.
Just she's not tough to. You get her. Just read the descriptions of histrionic personality disorder and borderline personality disorder. You get her. Fine. She does anything that benefits her in every situation. Manipulative, ulterior motivated in every situation, constantly on the scam. Me, I. That's how you have to think, and you'll get her. It's all about me. It's all about attention. Just, if you want to use one word, attention.
Yeah, and poor her. She's got to travel the world with her husband and do nothing. Just be by his side when the cameras are, pointed at him.
After she just had 4 months to party with her friends in 5 penthouses.
Snorting coke with a tampon applicator, and
on his dime.
Yeah, emptying that bag that James Franco brings by, full of Adderall, and oh my God, what a piece of work.
And for safety, so did I. We did not get married because it was something that we're doing, because it was something we could walk away. We wanted a foundation. No?
Yes, I wanted to make you my wife.
Yes, but you could just have me as your girlfriend if you didn't want the foundation. And you told me, and maybe you go back on it now. Fine, okay, cool. Lie about that. I don't know. You told me you wanted a foundation. You told me you wanted the security. You wanted the safety. You liked the foundation. At the beginning, you said, I really like having that. It feels safe. So don't argue with me when I say it now.
Oh.
I'm not arguing with you.
Oh, yeah, but you had to pick it apart.
How much of this is therapy speak? So the therapist is making them use buzzwords like foundation over and over again. How much of it is her?
I think that's her hitting the bullet points for him, though. Part of the wooing, because she says he would always talk about how he wanted a foundation. Oh God, he's a moron. He let her in.
I'll say it again. He made his own bed. He home wrecked his own family. He is a willing participant here. Is he more the victim? Sure. But he created this. You could say Hunter S. Thompson created it with the Rum Diary. But I cannot feel sorry for him across the board like the fangirls do, because he home wrecked his own family. And you'll see some stuff come up of what goes on during that. I mean, like, if she's threatened him, I'm actually in a voyeur kind of way looking forward to, a succubus's threat because you ain't seen nothing yet. So I do want to see what she has in the holster to threaten
She's a
him
lot of
with what we
talk.
haven't. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it could be too. It could be just empty threats.
I
We know
think
everything already.
it would have come out in the last trial. Her big guns would have come out.
I mean, do you see her sitting on anything?
I don't. I really don't. But I don't think it matters for her because I think she can weave a tale like no other.
Well,
So
that's a great point because, right, when you're a professional liar, whether it's as an actress or just that's your first move in conversation is to lie and embellish, and with histrionic personality disorder, that's a huge thing. Yeah, who knows what? And she has all this time to dream shit up,
yeah, and
collaborating with God knows who.
it only benefits her that she can review her previous testimony in the UK trial, and whatever holes were in that testimony, she's had all the time in the world to fill those holes in. And
Yep.
if you, like myself, believe that she has, had this planned since the beginning of their relationship, she's got files and files and files of instances that she can go back to. And all she's got to say is, well, he was drunk and high. He doesn't
Yep.
remember.
But in all fairness, so does he. He has time to think of, and not lying. He has time to prepare airtight stuff to put her down. And I'm sure, I think Depp's so beloved. I think he has so many people in the industry that are, we don't know, that texting him, emailing him advice. He's not going to bring them up. What's to stop
Yeah.
any of these people from saying, look, Johnny, you need to do this, this, and this? All the great legalese minds in Hollywood are coming at him going, we want you to win so bad, and this is what we're going to do. And I think it's pro bono.
Mm-hmm.
Because I loved you and you're my wife? I wanted you to be my wife? That's picking it apart?
No.
Then how did I pick it apart?
Forget it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to fight about a fight. I want to fight about semantics. I want to.
How come when I come up with a point, you can't answer it? You don't want, or suddenly you don't want to answer it?
What am I not answering? Because I don't want to fight about this new thing? No, I don't want to. I said you wanted the safety and security, and you stopped me, you interrupted me, and then you said, what? Because because I wanted to have you as my...
I didn't interrupt you. You asked me, right? You said, right?
I meant you interjected. I meant you said. You said. How about that? See, now, is this better? I answered you. I addressed what you're saying. Now, can we please not fight about that?
Ugh. And I said, because I love you.
You said loved.
We're talking about a fucking event that's past tense. If I used loved, my apologies. It doesn't mean I don't love you now.
My whole point that you had, I don't know, an issue with is that you love me. Yes, you married me, though, because you wanted some safety, some security, some stability, a foundation. Now, if you take issue with that, okay. Take issue with it. But if you agree, then you agree. That's who you were when you married me.
Yes, but the only thing that's missing is with you. I wanted those things with you.
Yes.
And that's what I was trying to say.
Me too.
Because I love you, and I wanted you to marry you for that, for our love, for the security, for the foundation, for... Yes, of course.
It's a Paul
But
Abdul song.
For you.
Sounds like they're quoting lyrics of Paul Abdul. What is it called? Spellbound?
Yeah, Spellbound. That's the album. But yeah, there's a song
I
called
just hear so
Spellbound.
many cliches. I can't take it. The phony. I hate her voice. How it just, she has the passive aggressive whisper, and then it changes tones, and it's up and it's down, and it's also,
she's trying to measure herself.
Yeah, it's also manufactured.
Yep.
You.
I'm sorry, I didn't. Me too. I mean, with you, of course.
Or with you, or whatever.
I mean that, of course. Of course I do. Of course I want that.
Ice,
with you. Why am I...
man after my own heart.
Do you think that's ice?
Was that ice, or was that bracelets or ice? Was that
skull rings hitting
skull rings or ice?
skull rings hitting the.
That's a great game. That's a great game show we could play on this show. Let's do a game show. Skull rings or ice. And we have to
skull
identify the sound.
rings, box of white powder, or what else?
Or like the credit card tapping on a glass table of cocaine,
Yeah.
right?
Married you, but I need the safety, I need the security, I need the boundaries, and I think you. Did you not agree?
She loves her buzzwords.
So
but when you start flipping out, and I can't get a word in, and it's you know, manic and angry. What the fuck, Amber?
I get angry. I'm human. This is the kind of situation where one gets angry.
Okay, but you can't provoke anger in me then. If I just
can't control that.
But
if I'm angry,
just try. Let's both try. If there's anger, if there's something fucking really fucking poking us in the ass, let's try. Try not to fucking fight. Try to address it without jumping down each other's throats, because all that's going to do is build a mountain of fucking resentment, some species of fucking hatred within the love, and totally fucking mistrust, because you say you don't trust me. I get it, okay. I'm flake, I'm a this, I'm a that.
I didn't say as a person. I was speaking specifically about this. I don't trust the marriage. I don't trust you. I don't feel safe with it because you always fucking bail on it.
Well, then I don't know, you know.
I want the trust back. You can deflect all you want, say it's my fault, say how dare I get angry at you ever, whatever. I'm telling you.
The other thing, which kept this thing going as long as, not just the distance of him shooting a movie for 4 months and do whatever else, all the hands, all the various things he has his hand in. They have how many different residents, right? So you don't have to be around someone when you're around someone. I mean, you could flee to this penthouse or this, or the compound or this, or he's renting a house. So you don't even, it's amazing this thing went as long as it did even before. If they had any less space, how fast would this have blown up? It would go 1/3 of as long as it did, including when they weren't married yet, even before that. But she forced him to get married. He didn't want to do that. He knew that was the worst thing he could do, but she forced him to.
I would hope so. But she makes a comment about how she had to fight for that marriage, so that's coming up.
As much as you don't like that shit in your marriage, I don't like the guff that you put on me in our marriage. And if it causes distrust in me, it causes distrust in me.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what.
And sometimes I don't. I don't want to fucking be there and go through the shit. I don't, man. I don't.
Man.
I know.
Do you say bro? Do you say man?
Yeah, he goes.
I love when a guy refers to a woman as dude or man or bro. I don't, bro.
Yeah.
Guy.
Well, she fights like a bro, so it's appropriate.
Because I don't want to fucking fight.
But it doesn't have to be one. It's not like I'm saying, hey, choose fight.
Yes, you are.
You just said I get mad, I'm going to scream.
That lighter.
I know.
The lighter has more clicks than he has speaking lines.
The lighter sounds like it's 30 pounds.
I know.
How many skulls?
Yes, I was going to say. Could you combine a skull ring with a lighter?
Yeah, but how many skulls do you think are melted into the side of the lighter and crosses and gothic? Ugh.
I think he has his initials on it. I gotta look at that again.
Probably.
By the way, how when you hear Depp in just everyday speak, if it's an interview or this, or he always sounds so tired. You know, he's never. How often do you hear him 100% lucid? He looks like he's just about to fall asleep. He sounds like he's always just at the end of his rope with every sentence and phrase. It's never just lucidity. It's always like straining to get a sentence out, and he's half asleep, and it's never just, he's never wide awake.
I think he's just emotion in this conversation. He's had enough of her bullshit, even
But
though he's
even in
prepared to
other
keep
stuff.
going with it.
Yeah.
Didn't say that's always the case. I said, yeah, I'm mad. It happens. It happens.
Yes, I know. It happens often.
The things that are wrong are repeating themselves, and they happen often. If you think I'm some fucking tyrant or bully, then don't fucking be with me. But don't sit here and insult me like I'm the fuck up because I have the
But you're
audacity
the
to
one
get
saying
mad.
that I'm the tyrant and the bully and at the same time the guy that runs away and
you run away every single fight.
Okay, so I mean, then what?
What?
How different do you think you behave when you know you're being recorded?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But she has every opportunity. They both know they're being recorded, but she could get in a couple lines about how he is abusive, and
Yes.
but she never does. And when he says, she says, and you fight back. He says, I pushed you. She could right then.
She's trying to sound, and this is what she does with everything. She's trying to sound as clinical as possible. She's trying to sound as therapeutic as possible. She's trying to use all the therapy lingo in here, to really lay it on because she knows she's being recorded.
I think only one of these two people know that this is going to be used in the future.
No, definitely. I think they thought nothing of it. This will never come up.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Even like if this is a different. By the way, what happens in a different era if technology's not as far along and he doesn't have the cameras and the penthouses and you're not recording all this stuff? He has no evidence.
Yeah.
Thank God it's the year it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not lying about it.
Then what are you doing with me?
I already answered that. We went through this conversation literally 5 minutes ago. I answered this already 5 minutes ago.
You just said to me that I shouldn't be with you.
No, I said if
That's
you.
what I feel.
No, I said if I'm some, harping bully, which is what you make me sound like. Like I'm like constantly you, making you feel bad. That's because that's what I do. And then you ignore everything. You take me for granted. You're ignoring everything that I do for you. You make me sound terrible. You talk about me in a terrible way.
You're not helping.
You do not fight for me. And then you want to sit here and make me sound so terrible to be around.
Fight for you?
You don't. Everything I've already explained.
No.
10 minutes before.
No, fight for you. I don't understand.
You never, ever do the work. Put in the work. If we're arguing about something, you don't ever try to get to the bottom of it, figure out, make the peace. You want to make it easy on you, so you split. You don't fight for me. You don't fight when there's a problem. You don't come to me. You don't make peace with me. You never extend an olive branch. You're never the bigger guy. You're never the one that's like, okay, I'm going to put my own feelings aside for a second and say, this is bigger than us. Let's stop fighting. You never are the one to come and knock on my door. You take me for granted.
Three's Company.
No.
It's not true. I'm not the one who fucking throws fucking pots and.
I want to be your Janet. I want to be your Chrissy. I want to be your Mr. and Mrs. Roper. I want to be your Mr. Furley. I want to knock on your door. Okay? And you're my Jack Tripper.
Oh, God. I do picture a Jack Tripper-esque scene where she's kicking the door in and he bends down, he scrapes her toes, he bends down and headbutts her on the way up. It's a very clumsy Jack Tripper moment.
Yeah. He's got a lot of John Ritter pratfall in him, I think.
Well,
in this. You're absolutely right. I could see a lot of John Ritter in these 5 penthouses over that time.
Isn't she just very childish in this, though, too? I get she's
typical fucking
100 years younger than
brat.
him.
She's just typical fucking 20-something chick with no accountability that can get away with. And then she thinks he's an intellectual on top of that. So it's
Mm-hmm.
double the narcissism and the unaccountability. You just have a total nightmare.
Yeah.
And he facilitated this.
Mm-hmm.
Those are different.
Whatever
That's
the
different.
fucking else at me.
That's different. That's one does not negate the other. That's irrelevant. It's a complete non sequitur. Just because
irrelevant.
I've thrown pots and pans
Listen to
does
that
not
vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
It's
mean that
irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's a total non sequitur. I would have been like, oh my God, what did you get into Hunter's works again? You're using non sequitur.
Well, and she's also saying, because we talked over, he's saying you throw things at me, you throw pots and pans at me. She's saying that's irrelevant. Okay.
you come and knock
That
on the
says it all,
door.
though.
Just because there are
Yeah.
vases does not mean that you come and knock on the door.
Really, I should just let you throw.
I'm not saying that. You're saying that. You're putting words in my mouth and then making non sequiturs.
I'm giving you a situation.
No, you're trying to justify how you don't or do come to the door
No,
based
I'm
on whether I throw
justifying.
pots and pans. It's irrelevant.
No, I'm justifying how you seem to think that there's this cowardice in me that runs away and I don't fight for you.
And you're justifying that by saying I throw pots and pans? Okay, cool. Let's
No.
talk about everything you do wrong.
I'm not the one who fucking did that. I didn't.
So that makes sense. That's
No.
clear. Yeah.
The only time I ever threw anything at you was when you fucking
are you-
threw the cans at me in Australia.
Why are you trying to justify who throws things based on
Because
whether or
that-
not you come knocking on the door? I don't
Because
get
that
why
is a
one
fucking
informs the other.
irrational and violent fucking maneuver.
How
So
does
a
one
man would
inform
want
the
to
other?
get out of that area so that he doesn't get so fucking angry that he actually does pop the fucking wife.
How does one inform the other?
That's the Sean Connery spirit.
That right
Now,
there.
when you're listening to this in court, when you're listening to this in Virginia, that right there says it all. You're like, oh, stop right there. The jury's convinced.
Yeah. 'Cause
He's
when-
telling
when
you
this-
he knows exactly what a guy's supposed to do in that situation.
After that TMZ video came out, we even discussed that at the time, being Depp fans. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know who was really at fault in this because the way
I
that
couldn't
video cut
believe
off.
people did. I know, even from novices that weren't like sycophants for him, and you go, the video cuts off. You're like, he didn't do anything in this. He breaks the phone. His mother just died. There's absolutely no context whatsoever
She's
when that got
recording
released,
him.
and she's recording him.
He finds out she's. Can you imagine how you would feel
Yep,
if somebody's
you'd lose it.
recording you in that moment, and they're just like, "Yeah, I just started it. I just pushed record. Why the fuck are you recording me?"
Want to
This-
see angry? There's all your anger right here.
Well, the way that video cut off in the first cut, that she's the one that released to TMZ, by the way, it
Yep.
seemed like it was very possible that she got the beating of her life after that.
Well, they filmed it in a way like he slaps the phone,
Yeah,
and then
and
she's
then it cuts
going
off.
to get right.
But meanwhile, he walks out of the room and she's taunting him as he walks away.
He's going to do a ground and pound on her after the phone shuts off.
Yeah. But, it's irrelevant if I throw things at you. Why do you split? You should stay
That's
and
the
fight.
unaccountability. That you see, that's the she her whole life, and whether it's Tasia Von Rees,
Ugh.
Tasia Von Rees in Seattle, or she's used to. Go ahead.
She was arrested for hitting her wife
Right.
in the Great Northwest. And then she accused the police officer of being, oh my God, homophobic. Meanwhile, the police officer was a lesbian.
Aren't they all? Has there ever been an actual male gay police officer? Have we seen this? Does this exist?
I don't know. I'm not in the precinct. I don't know.
They're lesbians.
Oh man, go home and listen to the tape. Please, that's what they're for.
Yes. You listen to the fucking tape.
Oh, I'm gonna.
So will I.
We have a standoff.
That'd be great if she actually. This is a little nice. She goes, "No, Tracy Jacobs is gonna fucking listen to your damn tape. I know you're not gonna. Just like your scripts you've chosen, Mordecai, Transcendence. Why don't you have Tracy Jacobs read it for you?
Going back to because you and I were talking about this case and like basically heartbroken over what could happen to this guy with these accusations. When this audio came out, weren't you thinking, okay, proven right, he's
Yep.
innocent, she's the
That's all I
aggressor?
need. That's all I need.
Meanwhile, we're
Case
still
solved.
going through this years
I can't
later.
believe it. I know.
Oh, and it's because she's a woman. Believe all women.
And when that verdict went down in the UK, I just jumped out of my skin. I still have jumped out. I was out of my body. I sat there. It was almost like when Trump got elected president. It's the same feeling. It
Yeah.
was like I sat there. I go, this can't be, whatever cliche you want to use. It's just, this is a dream. This can't be justice.
And meanwhile, while the final arguments are being presented in that UK trial, she approaches the podium outside to just, grab the attention from what's happening inside the court with her hand over her heart, bloated from hormone therapy, trying to create that baby in the test tube.
And then the girl squad at the podium and the Gloria Allred fake girl
Jesus.
power crap,
And
putting up the fist and
the women behind
stupid
her are
Whitney
in on
Henriquez.
this. Yeah.
I
Her
know.
sister is in on this.
Dumb doppelganger sister, mongoloid
Yeah.
face.
Exactly.
But they're so punchable too. They all have crazy eyes and they're all so punchable.
Her sister is the Danny DeVito in Twins.
She's the Drew Lachey of Amber Heard. That's such a gay reference.
Yeah, I'm
98 degree.
I'm so disappointed in you.
I just remember like Nick Lachey dancing around and his brothers with him.
Can I make a
This is my autistic brother Nick, Drew, and he's in 98 degree.
I have a confession to make. I had that album.
Oh my God!
And
what's your favorite song?
that's not even the confession. In '99, I went and saw them at the Moda Center, open for NSYNC.
Oh my God! What 99?
Like 99, 2000.
Did Rasheed Wallace sing harmonies?
No, he came over and slapped me for even being there. Drew a technical. All right, come on. Are they just staring at each other?
This is like the Howard Stern show. It's the Howard Stern show.
I'm not going to sit here and promise you I'll never get mad at you or that you'll never fuck up. I know you want to live in a world where everyone just says yes to you and doesn't question you or criticize you ever.
Don't insult me like that, please.
But that's not the case. That's not why you're with me. I am honest with you.
You're cheating.
I'm sorry. You don't want to be held accountable. I get it.
I'm not sure you're so honest with me.
Well,
here we go.
That's your...
Watching you live in front of Travis last night was really
that's your...
Oh, here we go.
This is really good. Okay,
Travis,
context.
you love Travis.
Okay. They were having a fight upstairs. He calls Travis. He calls Travis, his bodyguard, to come up and help him. And you'll hear what he says. But he tells Travis, or he looks at Amber Heard and says, "Tell Travis what you did to me." And she lies. Okay, here we go.
Problem, and that's your whole thing that you've created.
That's my problem, but my problem is that you don't trust me.
No,
what
I don't
the
trust
fuck
you in this.
is going on in there, man?
I don't trust you in this, and I want the trust back.
You don't trust me in our marriage. Well, what is everything we're talking about? Our marriage.
Tell me if you want to stop talking.
You're saying you don't trust me personally, or you don't trust me in the marriage? What I don't understand, what's so different. Tell me the difference, please.
I think I have in the last few hours, no?
No, I think you could probably explain it to me a little better. I think I'm slow.
You want to keep being an asshole?
Do I want to keep being an asshole?
Stop the attitude.
It's a redundant question.
Stop the attitude.
I should stop the attitude. Okay, sure, no problem.
Stop.
No problem.
Oh my God.
Boy, I would love to. I hope we get more of a detailed play-by-play of that wedding on the island and what went down. I think there was like a drug buffet and who was invited exactly, and the Josh Richmond, Ronnie Seabach at the thing, and
Oh yeah, all the
that
leeches were there. All of her leech
very,
friends.
very, very. There's a very few pictures of it, right? I mean, there's just like a little bit of
There's an overhead
somebody.
picture.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've used that in other projects I've done about this marriage. Yeah.
I.O. Tillett.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay.
His best man.
How dare you use the incorrect pronoun?
Oh, it's incorrect?
I don't know what's right or what's wrong
What
anymore.
sex is she this week?
So I'm not gonna sit here and go over every fight we've had. I'm not gonna refight this fight. You have something you're holding on to about Travis. Fucking go fuck.
Oh,
You know, go do it. Go run away together.
such a tough little girl. Go fuck. Shut up.
I don't know what you're fucking holding on to.
What? Sorry.
No, go.
Okay.
But you have created that. I have no part of that. I don't know what you're fucking latched onto in your brain, what stray hairs have fucking commingled and tangled in your brain to make you think you've really figured some sort of thing out. But this is not unusual for you. It's like almost every fight I can pretty much guarantee you find something that you can like manipulate.
Let's
and
ask
twist
Travis
into something.
tonight. If you
Yes,
told
why don't we
him,
invite Travis into our fucked up, broken ass, 3 fucking wheeled truck of a marriage? Why don't we crash it straight into the wall, because no one knows us better than fucking Travis.
you're just afraid that the truth will come out,
What truth?
that you lied.
What are you fucking talking about? I didn't fucking even have a fucking thing to lie about. What are you fucking talking about? Every fucking fight, there's a new thing that you've convinced yourself to
No,
lie.
She makes me just want to stop using the F word. Every other word. Fucking.
I've been in some verbal drag knockdowns, you know, especially toward the end of my previous relationship. I have never talked to anybody like this, especially somebody that I'm married to, that I have to cohabitate with. Well, kind of, you know, in their case. But I've never had the thought to even be so disrespectful to somebody, to their face. I do it behind their back.
Well, I mean, when you want attention to the extent she does, that's just it's part of the MO. It's every day is like this to everyone she knows. Until she gets the reaction she craves, you don't move to Hollywood and not want you're moving to Hollywood because you want a reaction, right? You
I
want
bet
the
she
ultimate
minded.
reaction.
I bet she minds her P's and Q's with Elon Musk, though. That's
a great question. Maybe I don't know if we'll ever get to the bottom of that, but
that's a bank that's open 24/7. So she is not going to do anything to shut those doors.
I said to you, Amber, tell Travis what you just did. Did you just fucking, did you punch me in the fucking jaw? Did you fucking kick? Did you? Did you? And you wouldn't say a fucking reason. I don't know what you're talking about. Never fucking,
I see the
never
lie.
fucking happened.
I see the lie. You really should run with this. In fact, maybe you and Travis can like go and like, you know, do a tell-all about what a,
Hey,
what, you know, an investigative
stop
study.
with the attitude, right?
Sorry.
Stop with the attitude.
Sorry.
You're getting all bunched up.
Sorry. Sorry.
you can see her batting her eyelashes. Sorry.
I think she has her jaw jutted out and she's literally got her arms crossed. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Blinking, rapid blinking. Sorry.
Yeah, that's her idea of toning it down in the fight.
How much do you think Elon Musk, I mean, super duper regrets ever being involved with her to every degree? And I don't think he's got to be trying to distance himself. He's got to be like, oh my God, I'm one of the richest men. I have all these options, and this is how did I get mixed up in this? His life is such a, is super duper charmed, unless we're talking about this. So you have the power of the Depp army just coming at him all day, every day. Does he care? Yeah, I do think he cares, because everything else is perfect in his life except for this. I think he
I
regrets
think
every bit of this.
I think she's got something on him, to be honest. And that's why
That
he's
could be too.
continuing to pay as the
When's the last
evidence.
time we've heard from him in
He
terms
doesn't
of
talk about
him and her?
this.
No, he's shut down. The last time was when he challenged Depp to a cage fight. Remember this one?
Mm-hmm.
This is about a year and a half ago, and then Mickey Rourke got
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah. So, but he agreed in my, there's a lot of speculation that he's the father of her child and he's paying her legal bills. There's got
Wouldn't
to be
take
something she's
much.
got on him.
It
Yeah, I
wouldn't
know.
take much.
He's got that in his wallet.
But I mean, that's part of the part of Depp's team is to prove that he is paying for everything.
Mm-hmm.
They want receipts. They want everyone to know she ain't doing this on her own. He's fronting this. He's the benefactor to everything she has legalese wise. And I don't know what hocus pocus mollusk is doing to prove, but I'm sure if anybody has tricks to smoke and mirrors to hide any legal assistance, he can do it.
Yep.
And what does Joe Rogan get in the Depp Elon Musk divorce? He's somehow friends with both of them. How's
Yeah,
that
that's a good
possible?
question. I don't know. I think if Depp wins this case this spring,
Yeah, he's waiting for the result, right? He's waiting for
yeah,
the
exactly.
to see what.
Yep. All right, let's let this play for a couple of minutes here, a little bit.
By the way, before you do,
Mm-hmm.
if you're Joe Rogan, how do you talk to? He's had Elon Musk on his show twice. Is that
Yeah, I
right?
think so.
Twice. Let's say what 5-6 hours.
Yeah. Ugh.
How do you talk to that guy that long and not bring this up?
I know exactly.
Good God.
I know.
That's all anybody thinks about when they look at him.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that great natural head of hair.
I don't. It's so fucking pointless, and you know it, to sit here and fight about fucking whatever you think happened with Trout. It wasn't
No.
a conversation.
Listen,
we
I
were
was not
fighting.
high.
I'm not going
You
to.
lied. You're an asshole.
You were fucking full of shit. What
Lied
lie?
your ass off.
When? What conversation did I have with Travis? Big investigative study you've done. I'm not sitting here
No,
fighting
I
with
was
you
in a
about
situation with
the
you.
fight that we
After
had
you
last
fucking
night.
got physically violent with me, I texted Travis. I said, "Come up here," because
know.
I didn't want
Come and
anything to
save me.
happen.
I mean, yeah.
It's coming to what? Save me?
No, go ahead. Continue. You. Travis to the rescue.
No, that was the last one. You can go. You go.
I wish he meant that.
That was the last insult.
Oh yeah. You called me a liar, and yet
I watched you lie.
you called me a liar.
I watched you lie. I
You're
heard it. I was
bullshit.
right there.
There's no what. You still haven't told me what lie it is.
We'll talk
But
to-
yet every single fucking time.
We'll
You
talk
know
to
you do this
Travis.
every single fucking
We'll talk
time.
to Travis.
I'm not fucking talking to nobody.
No,
Fuck
because
that.
you
You go
fucking-
fucking go jerk him off. I don't care. I really could care less. It's you every single time. You latch onto some sort of thing. When I already
I
told
have
you,
to admit.
I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
What?
I have to admit. I really laughed when she said that.
No,
He brought. Why don't we just get Travis up here? It's always. Let's just get Travis. She's tired of hearing his name, and she just go jerk him off. Just go try. I have to admit, I genuinely laughed at that, at the anger.
I just
She goes to that. I'm picturing him and Travis jerking each other off.
she's just like to me she's just a vulgar tryhard. It's so annoying.
You don't even know what you're talking about. You still haven't even told me what it is. But run with it.
I have told you what it is.
No, you haven't.
I said to Travis, I said to you, hey, tell Travis what just happened. You
You told me to do it. You told me to. You said, go do that.
I said, no, tell him what just happened.
And I lied.
And that you punched me in the
You're right.
fucking thing, and you
figured
in
it
the face,
out.
and you said, no, fucking, no, I didn't. What the fuck are you talking about? And I watched
punch
you lie, and then
I didn't punch you.
and
By
then
the way, I'm sorry that I didn't hit
punched
you across the face in a proper slap.
This is the best part. I'm gonna pause it after the best part is over, and you're gonna recreate it. So clear your throat and get ready. Okay.
But I was hitting you. It was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched.
Don't tell me what it feels like to be punched.
What it's like to be punched.
Say it again.
No, don't tell me what it's like to be punched.
Okay.
No, even a lot of fights have been around a long time. I know. Yeah.
No, when you fucking have a closed
You
fist.
didn't get punched. You got hit. I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not fucking deck you. I fucking was hitting you.
You can't
I don't know
deck
what
me.
the motion of my actual hand was. But
She is so lucky she has not been knocked out on the floor by
He's
someone.
clearly explaining, you wail on me whenever you feel like it, and I'm not allowed to have retribution. I'm not allowed to defend myself. There's just a guy's in a catch-22.
Yeah,
I kick your
exactly.
ass, I'm a bully, I'm a wife beater. But if I sit there and take it, I'm a pussy who doesn't hit back. There's absolutely no way to look good when a woman gets physical with you. There's nothing you can do except sit there and brush it off.
Yeah. I don't
The
hit
only thing to
people
do is
because I expect to be hit back. That's an ego right there.
she
I
doesn't. She
will
has
never
no
understand.
accountability. She's never had any accountability.
Yeah.
She has no consequences for any physical, financially, verbally, ever,
Ugh.
psychologically. And
Yep.
she has been playing that feminine wiles. There's no more enviable position to be in than an ex stripper hot chick in LA, which presenting yourself as an intellectual that has the likes of him wrapped around your finger.
Mm-hmm.
But you're fine. I did not hurt you. I did not punch you. I was hitting you.
How are your toes?
What am I supposed to do? Do this?
How are your
I'm not
toes?
sitting here bitching about it, am I? You are.
Oh,
That's the difference
you
between
poor
me and
toes.
you. You're a fucking baby.
Because you start
You
physical
are
fights?
such a baby.
Because
Grow
you-
the fuck up.
Because you start
Johnny.
physical fights?
I did start a physical fight.
Yeah, you did, so I had to get the
Because-
fuck out of there.
Yes, you did. So you did the right thing, the big thing. You know what? You are admirable. Every single time. What's your excuse when there's not a physical fight? Then what's the excuse then? You're still being admirable, right? Just by running away. And you can sit here and call me names, but you get called a name, and what do? That's the last insult. You're a baby. You're a hypocrite. You don't do anything that you actually do. You expect from people what you can't give them. If they do something, a taste of it to you, you fucking lose it. But yet you dish it out.
You know,
Hmm.
when she does that rap in the middle. She goes, it's one of the more quoted things. She goes, it's basically people consider it a confession from her. When she
Mhm.
goes, you did the noble thing, you did the right thing, you left. So their new alibi now is her team is that she's just being sarcastic. She's not admitting
Yeah.
to anything. She's
Yeah.
mocking him that you're so noble. I'm not admitting it. I'm mocking him.
That's the problem with, and I know justice has to be fair, but with her having access to all of his evidence, she, like I said before, she's got time. She can weave a tale and fill in all the holes.
Yeah, I think one of the problems he's going to have, not just the drugs and the affiliations with Manson, and she's just going to use, the Roman Polanski and Charlie Sheen and the names, the infamous name that you never want to be lumped in the same category with. She knows more about him, way more about him than he knows about her,
Mhm.
because she spent years studying his every
That's true.
nuance, not personality, but who he knows and what he's done. And she's keeping logs of when he went away. She knows every single thing about him, and he could care less
Mhm.
about her. In
Yeah.
in the same way, in terms of, and he's no fool. He knows what makes her tick, but she, I think, has obsessively just wrote down everything negative that could be construed and used against him in court. I think, like I said, she's way more obsessed with him than he is of her. And
Absolutely.
that could be used against, that could work against him
Do
if
you see
she's
her?
gathering
Do you
dirt
see?
on him.
I apologize. Speaking of her being obsessed with him, have you seen the pictures of the most recent girlfriend of hers? How she dresses her to look like Johnny Depp?
Is that
I think they
still
broke
going
up.
on, or
No, I
yeah,
think
of
they
course.
broke up. But if you look quick, it looks like Amber Heard walking down the street with Johnny Depp, which is it's weird.
It's really creepy. I thought.
What are you doing with this?
I'm giving you a Xanax.
Oh, she's giving him a Xanax. Xanax. I can never say that right. I don't think. But
It's okay.
he's getting a little bit too wordy maybe with her, so she's going to calm him down with some Xanax, and there's also
Oh, once you're
stories.
on medication, once you're someone who's labeled as being medicated, and not
Yeah.
his case is prescription drugs, non-prescription drugs, recreational drugs. Once, especially in this case, prescription drugs. Once you
Mhm.
get labeled that you're dependent on that stuff, it's thrown in your face all the time. You can't have a bad day. You can't.
Mhm.
Every bit of your mood is analyzed.
Yeah.
Oh, you're manic. Here's your pills. Oh my God, you're going
That's
crazy.
exactly what she's doing too. It's also a way of
Rattling
her.
them.
That's also her, and I hate this term, but she's gaslighting him. Oh, you're.
But it's also this is meant for the therapist. So the
Mhm.
therapist here
Yep.
is
Yep.
she's administering medication. It makes her look like the hero in the situation.
Well, no, too. Remember that story about they were on the island and he was detoxing, and she kept his medication from him
Yeah.
just to like
She's
kind of sit
become the
back.
right. She's become the gatekeeper of his medication that
Yep.
he can't keep his own schedule, and he's such a mess. He doesn't know what to take at what time, and he
That's
can't do anything without
Yep.
assistance.
It's another seed she's planting where he is led to believe he has to have her around.
That's exactly right.
She need it.
Oh, thank you.
Seems like it's worn off.
Yeah, it probably has.
It's a lull in the fight, dude. It stops the
Yeah.
momentum he might have. It diverts his it actually diverts his attention. It
That's
stops him
genius.
from
That's a great
yeah.
point.
I love you, and I've told you a million times in this conversation.
And now they're
how
gonna
much I
mumble.
I do love you.
You did as good a job as you
And
enhancing the volume.
I know. I've got it hiked
There's
up
only
to like
so much you can do.
7 times.
Fought for you.
They need to be mic'd up.
And
I'm surprised they didn't. It's probably easier.
do the
Yeah.
same. However, okay.
Now she's gonna love bomb.
I'm married to you. With a foundation. So we start out.
At what point did he become jaded by the love bombing? You see through it, like not this time. It's
I think when he got on that elevator after
Not
she
so that it could be
screamed,
transient
"You
and
hit me."
flow around at each other,
yeah.
run away from. But I haven't even been able to have like a fight with you beyond
Oh, I hate this voice.
in any real talking kind of speaking context in so long, because anytime anything goes wrong, you split. I feel like it's your first thing.
That's her only complaint about him.
It's
'cause he leaves.
unnecessary. It's not always you're splitting because there's blows or because there's yelling or anything. You split most times when I'm still speaking in this volume and nothing has been thrown or hit
He
or
goes
anything.
away.
Hmm.
When he goes away, it's frighteningly like similar to the kid. We all had the kid we hung out with whose parents went away all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes for weeks, sometimes for months. That's kind of the relationship. He goes away for months and she just has a party.
Mm-hmm.
Does whatever she wants. It's like any latchkey kid you ever saw that has the parents who are never home and they just get to do whatever they want.
Yep.
Telling you what I need for this. I want to feel the trust, and I can with you. I know I can. I have felt it with you. But it's been destroyed by constantly being reminded that you take me for granted, or that you don't see this as a permanent thing, for better or for worse. I feel genuinely that you are here in this marriage and committed to this marriage for the better. And really not for the worse. You can't say the same about me. I fight even when I feel terrible. I show up. I pursue. I give you space. I've done everything to really show how
It's easier to
committed
give
I am. You
space
know
when
I
you have
am.
10
I'm here
residents.
for God's sake.
And I haven't.
No, not when it's tough. Not when it's hard. Not when it's worse. This is this is the grandest gesture you've shown me in a long time. Is by sitting in one place and actually facing some of the stuff we need to talk about.
I mean, you think she's insecure.
Mm-hmm.
So is he. I mean,
Yeah, of course.
how do you think?
That's why he's still
what do you
there.
think he's? I mean, think about her. I mean, she's 25 years younger than him, and she's sexually fluid,
Mm-hmm.
and all these up. I mean, he. How would you think? He's constantly thinking, God, does he have self awareness where he's like, I'm 25 years older than him? What if she looks at me like I'm,
And she
this
takes
old
advantage
man?
of that.
Yep.
Hanging
She
the
knows she can. It's
ex-wife's
perfect.
painting.
It's a perfect scam. I know.
Hanging the
She
painting that your ex-wife did over your bed. So he
she
has to
plays
see
on his
that?
insecurities
Yep.
to such the Stradivarius thing. He plays his insecurities like a Stradivarius.
Yeah. And oh,
Every
Johnny,
time she signs on, it's always Leonardo DiCaprio and
yeah.
Channing Tatum, and it's just these names.
Yeah. Johnny, you're a fat old man. James Franco's coming over later. Have fun shooting your movie.
Biggest gesture you've given me in a very long time. It means a lot, of course, but it should be mutual. I know there's things that I need to be different. I want to make you happy as a man. I know I can change certain things that are hurting you. But I know I can't blame myself entirely for going straight to the fucking finish line, the first sign of stress yesterday. Because of how it's been lately. Like since Australia. And I've been on the road with you. I haven't been working. I don't know what else I could fucking do.
Since Australia, we've been on our honeymoon and we had a great time other than the fact that we had a fight in the train, which was physical. But then we had a fight in San Francisco. But I thought everything else was great. You're saying we've been pondering this since Australia.
No, the splitting.
Me splitting.
Like the lack of, I even said this in Australia. I said I feel like it was so good for so long. We'd talk about things. Remember we were allowed to have fights then. Remember we allowed ourselves to say, hey, you did this or you took. Remember we would even have a little argument and it was okay. It was an argument. I don't know what the fuck has changed. I can't figure.
How do you go from that to that? The tone, the whiny histrionics, and she's. How much time does San Francisco play a part in this? I mean, you got the time when they're broken up.
Yeah.
And she has the restraining order.
Uh-huh.
That whole thing where she's inviting him into bed and there's a restraining order and he's in San Francisco. Wait, why is he in San Francisco again?
She had asked.
Hollywood vampire. The vampires are stupid vampires are touring. That's also funny too. That remember that. I don't know if it was a Crazy Days and Nights or just a general gossip that had gone around how much she hated his band and his music friends.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of dismissed it as like, oh, that's stupid gossip. It's absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
She told him how much she hated, like it's just the dinosaur rock and the, fucking Joe Perry's 60 years older than her. What could she possibly have in common with these dinosaur rockers? And hates the music, and that was all true. She hates the Hollywood vampires more than I do.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to bring a pause to the audio here for this episode, and we're going to go into feedback that we've gotten on videos. You want to read a few?
Yeah. So this is our new super fan, new listener from the Netherlands. Melissa Van der Vet, or MVDV as we called her, Missy.
You
And
did
she
better than I did.
writes Missy Festo, and I mean that in the best possible way. She writes back to us. I guess she listened to the last one. She writes, "Whoa, I'm sincerely humbled by your kind words to me, Sarah. I respect you even more for putting in the effort to pronounce my surname correctly. I know it's tough to pronounce. You really didn't have to, but now that you did, I might use a small clip of you pronouncing my name as my voicemail. LOL. I got to hear that. I got to hear that.
I
Your
don't.
presumptions." You hate the sound of your own voice, though, huh?
I detest it.
You got to wear it. Amber Heard doesn't.
Yeah.
She does not. So that's where you have one up on her. Your presumptions about me are correct. I'm actually from the Netherlands, and English is my third language. Rub it in, MVDV. It's your third language. Your third language is better than my first one. So it honestly means a lot. I do not own a blog, but now I feel like maybe I should create one. You might have read some of my tweets during the UK trial, since I think I did, actually. You may have read some of my tweets during the UK trial, since I attended as a member of the public. Oh, you got to tell us about that. I think I actually asked her that. Spending time near the source in the court corridors room taught me a lot about the dynamics between JD and his security team, both his everlasting supporters and the slithery snakes in the grass. Your analysis is spot on, and I'm already looking forward to the next episode. I just realized Tracy never really speaks about Stephen Deuters in her deposition. No, she doesn't, does she? The assistants don't come. That's true, right? She acts like there had to have been correspondence with all those assistants. That's a very good point. They never come up in that.
Yeah.
He himself claims he accompanied Johnny on the majority of the work trips since 2004. And what are personal assistants' duties and responsibilities anyway, in this case? I'm assuming dealing with the correspondence and managing appointments is a major part of that work. She's right on. She's right on. That's exactly right. So it is so weird he doesn't come up in that. I'm not saying he's the cause of Johnny's tardiness, but I would really be interested in hearing Steven's point of view. Very true, right? To keep him on schedule is maybe the first order of business in his job description.
Yeah.
Again, it's Depp's fault, but that's why you're there. Why are you not, what is the point of view if you can't keep him on schedule?
Throw a bucket of water on him if you have to.
That's right. And I write back, thanks again, MVDV. That is a voicemail for the ages, and I'm sure Sarah will love it and embrace it. I'm flattered you even conjure that idea up. We at the WINO Forever the Deppening family are steadfast committed to getting MVDV her Hollywood Vampires refund, if it's the last thing we do. Yeah, how many? Joe Perry, how many hair plugs do you need?
Yeah.
Okay, you're 72. We know it's not your real hair. Give her $1,000 back. Is it going into Joe Perry's hair? Is it going into tattoos? Is it going into? I mean, give her the gram back. How do we pursue? How do we the Better Business Bureau, right? So it's like MVDV, BB, Better Business Bureau, BBB, MVDV at the BBB. I don't like, and you know how rich Aerosmith is, and that do we blame Alice Cooper's manager for this? Do we blame? I can't believe these guys are they so out of touch they don't realize they built these people at a meet and greet. All those legions of Depp heads and all the support they give you. You have some nerve. Some nerve. Is this Jack Depp's per diem when he goes to Vegas every other day? God knows. Come on, pony up the ground.
She'll get her refund as soon as we get our refund from Howard Stern.
Speaking of hair plugs.
Yeah.
Speaking of hair systems. Yeah, Howard makes Joe Perry look like give me F. Murray Abraham. She writes back, thank you. I combined it with some of the sightseeing in London. It was totally worth it. Depp security and the court security. Oh, she's got a lot of dirt here. She's got a lot of intel. Depp security and court security, who were clearly instructed by Team Depp, were super friendly, low-key, treated everyone equally, in my opinion. That's the Jerry Judge influence, right? Working its way down. Johnny and his team create this family vibe environment. Literally, these are my relatives, is how they would put it, which is admirable. But where do you draw that line between fan and friend? Depp has really become more attached to his fans through all this, and I don't know if there is a line. I think it's more blurred now. My first day in court, security requested us to not speak to Johnny during his breaks because of the court procedures, which was fine, but Johnny approached us and started chatting with us, and there was much security you could do about it. He's, oh my God, I love this word. He's recalcitrant.
Oh my God.
Recalcitrant. Oh my God. How about a new show called Recalcitrancing with the Stars?
Will you interpret her? English is her third language. I don't even know what that word means.
Probably felt the desire to talk to a kind stranger to distract himself from the content discussed in court. COVID measures? Nope. He walked around maskless, hugging supporters in a narrow corridor. Ha ha ha. To give you a concrete example, it was forbidden to take pictures inside the courthouse with a risk of a fine. Everyone was made aware of that, but two ballsy girls asked anyhow, and Johnny, unable to ever not look a fan in the face, backstage in the copy room for the pictures to be taken. Of course, the security stayed with him, but I thought it'd be somewhat inappropriate. It must be exhausting to babysit that man who pays you. Yeah. It's exhausting. I mean, it is. It's to be the conduit where he's so accessible to those fans and so gets it, that the loyalty they've had to prop up films that maybe they shouldn't have even seen. Those who went to see Transcendence and those who went to see Mordecai. It had to come from somewhere.
Yep.
It's exhausting to look like the bad guy, which is their job. It's a crazy. Yeah, and during COVID, where you're not sure what you can do in the UK and social distancing, I'm not even sure how they handle it there. It was weird, It was very much in ground zero and knee deep in COVID when that trial went down. But that is phenomenal. That's a great play-by-play of how security works in those instances. And they may be even lighter and have their guard down because he is so beloved. What's the worst thing they have to do?
I hear the ice.
Keep the kids safe, because they're also on the Lily Rose detail, and there's great footage of her coming in and out of LAX with the 24-year-old wigger, and not wanting to be seen. She doesn't get the private jet treatment. It's funny too. Him and the private, when he was going through the financial, when he realized the bankruptcy and he lost $600 million, and he was going back and forth with his business managers. The one thing he's like, no, I have to have a private jet. I have to. No, me in public, in regular commercial flights is gargantuan, epic proportion of disaster. He would. That's the one thing he would not negotiate. Once you get used to the private jet treatment, there is no going back to commercial airline.
Yeah, I would imagine. That's all I can do.
And then you're him, which the worst fate of all is to be this super household A-list name without the money, which is what he felt he was going through at that time. The fame, even though, there's no broke with him. I mean, he could correct that. Like I said, Japanese beer commercial takes care of that one, but the private jet thing is a whole other thing. And they're telling him, no, you can't. No. You're going to have to make some concessions. You got to work with us. We can't be flying a private jet every little thing impulse you have. But he would not relent on that.
Yep.
Like I said, I think that's the hardest thing to part with is that private jet treatment.
Do we have some more?
Just from the Radio Gunk chat, you got a lot of people feedback on the last one. Where am I? The WINO Forever thread. We have Mr. Judy Tenuno. I don't know why. We love Judy Tenuno. He was in the chat yesterday, along with Kylo Sierra Alpha and David and Fudsicle. Judy Tenuno writes, Sarah and Arm, I don't know why. I just don't love Black Mass, the movie, like you guys. I just wish I did. See, that's honest. I do.
Yeah,
I
well-
understand people are weird with that movie. Is it polarizing? A little bit. I think more people like it than don't. His performance is unrelenting. I mean, I think there's no debating how great he is in it, but I could see some people just didn't like the tone or the vibe or the flow of that movie. Maybe they thought. I could tell you though, Tenuda, I happen to know that there was a difficulty, just like in City of Lies. Black Mass had a problem. There was some stuff edited out. I'd love to see a super director's cut of that movie. There's a scene in the trailer. I recognized it immediately. The Winter Hill Gang, the Whitey Bulger leads, Boston is one of the most racist cities in America, maybe the most, and you could tell by the 1986 Celtics, which is a team that's 80% white in a league that's 90% black, and somehow and the Patriots are the only team with skill position players, and there's racial slurs coming out of those sports audiences all the time, and it's notoriously one of the most racist cities in America. There's a scene where the Winter Hill Gang attacked a bus that was busing black students into a regular school, and they stopped the bus and they terrorized the bus. They cut the whole scene out of the movie. So I don't know how complete the movie even is, if it could be even better for me than it was, because they had problems with that scene. I guess times change, and they said we got to cut that. We can't keep it. But it's in the trailer. If you go watch the Public Enemy trailer. It shows the Winter Hill Gang banging on a school bus with black children in it, terrorizing it, and they took it right out. So it's not a complete movie, I don't think.
No.
And there's other stuff you could find too in the trailer but I would love to see a full-blown unedited director's cut of that movie. But I get
There's
it.
gotta
I
be
get it. You don't have to he loves Ed Wood, right? He keeps begging us to do an Ed Wood episode.
I think so.
Or is it the Bearded Pelican who writes?
It might be the Bearded Pelican.
These Hollywood people are disgusting. What Depp allowed in that statutory rape is, in fact, statutory rape in California. I always loved him as an actor. My fault. I shouldn't listen to a deep dive podcast because I really don't want to learn this much. I think you guys you should also do a whole Ed Wood episode. That's one of my favorite movies ever. Top 5 easily. Hopefully Depp wasn't having any carnal relationships with bovine animals during the filming of that.
Oh my God.
I got to learn. This is a lesson. Never meet your heroes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I mean, there's some of that in there. I'm not giving him a pass in any way. He's fully aware what she was doing, but there's this France influence in his life that has corrupted his brain and right and wrong, whether it's Roman Polanski, who hooked him up with Vanessa, for Christ's sake, or his actual wife, which thinks it's okay that Lily Rose lived with at 15 and 23 or 15
Girlfriend.
and 24.
Yeah.
Girlfriend live in the same compound. I don't know, there's some real shady characters in his life that's got to be thrown in his face, whether it's Damien Eccles or Marilyn Manson or Charlie Sheen at the trial.
We've said it before.
Or not, yep.
One of his biggest faults is he is so impressionable and just falls right in line.
It could be a major fault. So the thinking is that it's actually Vanessa that greenlit this tremendous Epsteinian living arrangement, and I, again, not giving him a pass, but she's trying to be the cool dad and not say no to her when they're competing over who the cooler parent is at that point. So it's what are these guys? What do? They do. The word no doesn't exist in his kid's life.
Yep.
And that's a way that it better damn well exist. And he couldn't lower the boom. Or maybe he's just, and there's some stuff he'll come up in the one of the transcripts, he was estranged from his kids. It did not come up until these transcripts. They had a problem for a while. And in several ways, and we got to interpret it when we get to it. But he did not see his kids. They were having problems, and I'm sure it had something to do with the succubus and certain stances they took. But his relationship with his kids is not perfect, lest you think it is the way he wants to paint it. But I completely get it, what you're saying. Don't meet your heroes is one of the great phrases of all time, which in his case I don't know if it's applicable all the time. I think he always gives a pretty damn good impression if you meet the guy. So all we have is piles of evidence, but what you say is completely valid. It's in a different way. It's just in a transcriptian way.
Agreed as usual.
I get it.
Yep.
Do we have anything on Momoa?
I don't think so.
It's just interesting. The legions of Depp heads are blaming Momoa blaming the succubus for ruining Momoa and Lisa Bonet's. He's a willing participant. I mean, is there ever a time where he's not swashbuckling around with 4 broads on his eye, but a huge, the Viking pint of Guinness, and he's dry humping 4 chicks at a, Miami sports bar or something? I mean, he very much when he's looking at and it's so interesting how Momoa is greatly influenced by Depp's fashion sense. Have you ever seen Momoa in his civilian clothes? He's got the rings, and he's got the tattoos, and
the hat,
got the derby on. He's got the dress shirt with 4 buttons down. You can't tell me he's not trying to dress like that and look like him. This is one of the many.
I think that's also the Lisa Bonet influence.
Yeah. Or Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
All right, I had something about Momoa. I forget what it is, but we can get to it next time.
Okay. All right, so we'll wrap it up. I'm hungry.
It remains to be seen where that goes. We'll see what comes out about the Momoa breakup, because do not believe that load of crap that thing I read last time.
Yeah. As much as I despise her, I don't get the sense, and I know nothing. I just don't get the sense she's the reason for this.
He's I mean, the old cliche again. A man is only as faithful as his options. I think I heard Chris Rock say that for the first time. Ain't that true in a lot of ways? When you become, you watch a major star evolve when he goes from Game of Thrones to Aquaman, and then he becomes this international star. It's DC's highest grossing movies. That's the crazy thing is, Amber Heard gets to say she's in a bigger money making movie than Depp is.
Well, the good news
Aquaman has beaten all of the Pirates movies internationally.
The good news about it is apparently her scenes are very limited this time. So if she's not killed off completely. So fingers crossed.
I'll say it again. DC, Warner Brothers, James Wan, the Aquaman people, and I'm a huge Aquaman fan, have to be terrified of the negativity that comes with them. People hated her in 2018 and the movie killed at the box office.
Yeah.
Do they hate her more now?
Yes.
Than 2000? Probably. How much does it affect the box office? I don't know. Are people gonna say they're not gonna see it, but they do see it?
I think absolutely.
Cooler to say you're not gonna see it?
Yes, it absolutely is. I don't think it's going to affect it much at all. It would be nice if it did. And it's not going to. It's still going to make, close to $1 billion, if not $1 billion.
And the question you raised, if it indeed proves that Depp wins this trial with a jury, with any jury who would not prefer his charisma over hers, I can't think of 12 people in her own her own family likes Depp better than her, for Christ's sake.
According to those text messages, yeah.
If he wins, what does Warner Brothers do?
I don't know.
Apology-wise, how?
No, they're not going to apologize.
Are they? Is it just because she's a woman and we don't have to apologize when we're women? And
I think they're just going to ignore him. I think he's done with him. I think they're just going to ignore it. And
I don't want him. He's going to have to go somewhere else. Movie. I don't care about that.
I think he's done with that. According to him, he's done with the blockbusters.
They did him a favor. They did him a favor.
All right, you ready to go?
Yes.
All right, have a headache.
Good
All right.
job, Sarah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you as always, and good night, everybody.
Very nice. Do you have a stylist, or you just found it on the rack?
Well, it was laying around in my house. This old thing.
Have you ever had a guy's...
Sneak that shit on me, motherfucker.
I didn't. You were smashing shit.
Bye.